Hmm. Hmm. What up, Shannon? What's Gucci here? Ooh, Scheisse. That mic down. That mic hot. That mic coming in hot for your boy. For your boy. That mic coming in hot, boy. Hey, I'm getting a late start today, man. I had a busy day. Nigga here now, though. We in the house. What's good, man? Tap the screen. Let's like up the live. Let's like up the live, y'all. They don't like any of them, Shannon. They don't like any of them. Men don't want to hear men don't want to hear anything remotely close to the truth. You got to feed these niggas lies. Honeysuckle. You got to pour honeysuckle in. You got to pour honeysuckle in these niggas' ears to get them to listen to you. Somebody tried to hit me with that shit, talking about some. If you cared about black men, you would talk to them like you would change how you talk to them. I was like, man, first of all, I don't make content just for black men, but black men, white men, Asian men, alien men, I don't give a fuck. Men not gonna listen. If you talking about the truth, men not gonna listen. If you telling men shit that they need to hear to grow and develop themselves, they not gonna listen. You telling them they're a problem or they're a part of the problem or it starts with us or anything like that, they don't want to listen. They don't. You telling men that women ain't got nothing to do with it. Leave them out of it. They don't got nothing to do with it. Babies ain't got nothing to do with it. Them babies ain't got nothing to do with it. They don't want to hear that shit. They don't want to hear that shit. So though I do make my message in hopes that men hear it and heed it, I don't make my message for men. I don't tailor my message for men. The only way to tailor your message for men is to lie to them. You cannot, if you guys can show me a man, if you could show me anybody throughout history that challenges the status quo, right? And show me where they were received by the people that benefited most from the status quo. If you could show me that person, I will model my platform after them. I would change my approach. I would just follow their lead and just do whatever they were doing. I'll just do that. I'll do it to the best of my abilities. If you guys can show me that. But if you can't show me that, because all I'm asking for is one example. If you can't show me that, then shut the fuck up and let me do what I be doing. That's where we at with it on this lovely Thursday. That's how we doing it on this beautiful Thursday. Why would you be afraid of a false allegation, Supreme Kai? Why are you afraid of you live your life in fear of a false allegation from a woman? From anybody? Who you everybody here, how many of you guys are running around on a day-to-day afraid that somebody is going to falsely accuse you of something? Whoever and whatever the crime or whatever it is, you tell me, who is walking around who is walking around thinking that that somebody is going to falsely accuse them of something? I am a black man in America and I'm not afraid of being falsely accused of shit. I'm not. I'm not afraid to end up like Emmett Till. I'm not. Right? If it happens, you as a man has no defense. It's always the people that don't speak English good that has these types of responses. You do have a defense. Most of the time when you get accused, the shit don't even go to trial. Charges don't even get pressed. What are you talking about? You have no defense. It is extremely difficult to prove a grape. Extremely difficult to prove an essay. Like, think short of grape, right? Think short of grape. Think short of grape. Hey, and my mods, invite all the men's up that's talking in the comments. And if they don't come up, mute them for the live. Y'all know the drill. But think anything short of grape, right? Think about how hard that would be to prove. Like touching, groping, recording her, up her skirt type stuff, like they do in Japan, on the trains. Think about that. Like what? That shit is difficult. JoJo, what's good?
What's going on?
Chilling, bro. Hold on.
I just stopped
Get my mic situated.
I was looking at the prom. I'm like, man, this kind of crazy. Like, you saying believe all women?
No, where does it say believe all women?
Okay, so just believe the women that have those grape accusations.
What does it say?
It says believe grape accusations.
Nope. What is the first thing? Can you see the first thing that says believe women? Is that too high up for you?
Okay. No, maybe because it's covered a little bit.
Got you. Okay. It just says believe women. Yeah.
Okay, got it. So we got believe women. Let me read it again just so I got it.
Yep.
Right, so believe women. Mm-hmm. Grape accusations only hurt women, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Grape accusations only hurt women. Okay. Mm-hmm. The only men that are afraid of being falsely accused of grape are grapists.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. I'm trying to understand the second one. I can maybe see the third one, but the second one, grape accusations only hurt women. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. When women accuse men of grape, how do men get hurt by that? Well, they don't.
The men that actually do it get hurt. But
they don't get hurt. Even the ones that get falsely accused, they don't get hurt by it.
How would they not get hurt?
How do they get hurt? What have you seen?
Well, yeah, so like I said, speaking from friends that have been accused of this stuff and all this other stuff, like, don't get me wrong, like when people say like, okay, like it doesn't ruin a man's life, they're usually talking about like his job, right? Like, oh, he didn't lose his job over this, like he didn't lose that, he didn't lose his monetary value and things like that. But you guys, I think people fail to understand that men lose a lot more there's a lot more than money and jobs that come to this. We're talking about how your family perceives you, how your brothers perceive you, how your sisters, how your other friends perceive you, things like that. You could be completely in the right, but just because you were falsely accused, now people are looking at you some type of way because in their head it's like, why would this girl just come up with this? Like, it's kind of weird. And now, don't get me wrong, I seen the statistic. I know 98% of the men convicted, they actually freaking did. I understand. I understand men have a huge problem.
So that's damn near. Hold on, wait. So can I going back to my original statement? If 98% of the men that are convicted actually did it, right? Then wouldn't that actually prove my point that men in general are not harmed by false allegations or allegations in general, because I'm saying if you did it, then who gives a fuck if you're, you know what I mean? Like hopefully you do get locked up, right? Like that's the hope, right? But if you didn't do it, where's the harm at? I know men that actually did it and didn't really pay a price. I know men that actually graped that, like Brock. I don't know him personally. I do know some personally, but I just, the one that I'm naming isn't a personal one. Hold on. ES Riddy, whatever. I'll mute him. Don't worry about it. I'll mute him for the live. You can come up though, ES Riddy or whatever. You can talk about Brian Banks. I know Brian Banks personally. I went to high school with him. He went to I was there when all that shit. I mean, I wasn't physically at the location when it happened, but I was there. I was at the school the day it happened. He used to call me, collect to my house. Yeah. So I know Brian Banks personally. You want to talk about Brian Banks? Please come up and talk about Brian Banks with me. I would love to have that conversation with you guys.
Wasn't that the football player from LBP?
From Poly, yeah.
Yeah, his life got really ruined. I don't know the details.
His life didn't get ruined because of an accusation. He got convicted.
He had a full ride. Didn't he have a full ride to a college about to make the NFL, all that stuff?
That man said he was going to go to, or he was a boy when he was in the 10th grade. He said he was going to go to USC. So he was going to go to USC. He had been recruited. And what happened was he got caught kissing in the stairwell in the science building. Like at Poly, like the science building is kind of like in the cut. And he got caught kissing his girlfriend in the stairwell. And he might have been doing more than, you know what I mean? Like he might have been touching her or whatever, but like it was consensual, obviously. You know, they were boyfriend and girlfriend. Like everybody knew they were together. And so they called him. One of the staffers called him. You know, they reported it or whatever. And then the mom was the one who decided to press the issue or whatever. The daughter she was a child. She didn't know. But the mom was like, hey, we can get some, like, she didn't tell the daughter this, but in her mind, she was like, we can get some money out of this shit. So she saw a situation to get money out of it. And she escalated the situation. And he ended up getting convicted, and we all know the rest. Yeah, he wasn't even, I mean, the girl didn't even falsely accuse him. The girl didn't even accuse him. The girl never said he did anything. I won't say she never did. Like eventually, you know what I'm saying? Like when she gave her testimony and all of that stuff, yeah, she started to lie because her mom was coaching her. But no, it wasn't statutory. They were both in the 10th grade, like 9th or 10th grade when it happened. But yeah, that wouldn't be a good example of what I'm talking about. But to my point, I'm not saying that no man is hurt by accusations.
Okay.
I'm saying that men in general are not hurt by accusations. And women in general are hurt when they make accusations. That's my point. So the reason why everybody knows Brian Banks is because that shit never happens. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why Brian Banks' story is so popular. Yeah, he was a standout football player and all of that stuff. Yep, that's for sure. But it also is because it is so rare. It's so rare that happens. So rare. So yeah, that's the thing why Brian Banks, why his story is so popular. A big reason why.
I got you. Okay. All right. You clarified it a little bit more for me and things like that. Okay. All right. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I've come across just a couple dudes with this story. Like I used to work in legal a little bit.
They did it.
You said, huh?
They did it, JoJo.
Yeah, trust me, I'm sure there's some that did.
No, I'm saying if you have come across multiple men who have done, they did it. Just do the odds. 98% of them did it. So just assume that they all did it. They did it. There's no need to have the discussion and be like, oh man, I saw how I ruined their life. They did it.
I get you, but like then you gotta be the same like throughout all statistics, even the statistics that they throw at us when they say like, oh, we commit 50% of the things. It's like, okay, like that's an
that's not, but no, that's not what they, That's not what they say, JoJo. You should know the stat before you try to use it in this debate. That's not what they say.
I'm saying that's what they say.
No, what is, I know, but that's not the actual stat. That's why that stat is not real. That's why it wouldn't be applicable, right? What do they say black people commit 50% of the crimes, but what does the stat really say?
Well, what does the stat really say?
The stat says that we are arrested for 50% of the crimes. We don't commit them. And then you got to get, and the reason why they ignore that huge caveat is because once you get into the why are black people arrested more than everybody else when we know drug use and smug use and smug selling is relatively the same between black people and white people. Why would black people be arrested more for that? Oh, because we're over police. Well, why are black people over police? Oh, because we're black and the system is racist and pitted against us. Duh. That's why. So any of those there's nothing to substantiate a claim that says that can substantiate any claim that scientifically proves that black people are inherently more violent than anybody else in this country. I would say quite the opposite, to be honest with you. I think black people are less violent than the vast majority of people in this country. Same thing goes for immigrants. Immigrants are less violent than even American citizens.
No, yeah, like I said, I mean, I'm not saying that anybody's inherently just like, like violent or things like that, right? But I mean, there is another argument out there that says, like, I guess like more violence happens like in like impoverished areas, right? Like areas where people don't have as much and things like that.
Yep.
Right? So I think that definitely plays into a factor in a lot of the violence.
Yeah. So if you took a poor white teen neighborhood and a poor black neighborhood, the rates of violence, the rates of robberies, is going to be relatively the same because it's not the race, it's the money.
So I want to look at, like I said, I don't want to speak on that too soon, but I mean, like, if you compare like an impoverished area in like Montana to like Chicago, are you going to find relatively the same thing?
Do you know anything about Montana? Montana is one of the most lawless states in all of the union.
I'm just asking.
People are afraid. Even Montanans will tell you that they're afraid of Montana. Like they're like, we don't like driving through Montana at this town. That shit is the wild, wild west, bro. That shit is crazy in Montana. They be wilding in Montana. Absolutely. It's crazy.
I've never seen a drive-by in a trailer park.
What does that mean?
I'm saying there's not as much gun violence in poor white areas as there's in black areas.
I don't know what that's not true, but okay. What do you mean? Because black areas are why? Because they're more densely populated? Then you got to get into that? Or like, what are you saying?
He's saying that Gary, Indiana has far more murders per capita than some trailer park West Virginia town.
Where is the most violence happening at?
In Gary, Indiana, per capita is the highest. But
no, it's not.
Bigger cities is where it's happening.
It's not. That's like 15 years old, that Gary, Indiana shit. That's not right now in 2024. But no, I'm just saying, if we're talking about gun violence, right? Which we're getting off track. But anyways, let's do this real quick. I didn't say Gary isn't bad. I'm just saying it's not number one anymore. They've been surpassed. But yeah, it's in somebody said Mississippi. It's in red states. It's in rural states. That's where the most violence happens. It's in rural states. That's where the likelihood that you'll be unalived is the greatest, is in rural states, poor states, rundown states, Mississippi, Alabama. Those are the most violent states. That's what I'm saying. That's not making Kentucky. Kentucky's a poor state in the union, by the way. Right? So rural poor states, yes, that's where it's at. It's not California. It's not New York. It's not Illinois. That's not where it's at. Don't.
If you're looking at total, it's
I'm not talking about total.
You're talking about per capita?
Yeah, of course, total is different in California. There's more people in California than there are in 30 combined states. So of course, total.
Why is it okay to generalize men and assume that they did it, but it's not okay to generalize off these statistics of like black areas and say, oh, there's more likely to be crime or criminals in this area?
Because I just told you why. It's okay. It's okay to assume that there's going to be more crime in poor areas. You want to say black areas, that's on you. But if you say because in black affluent areas is the crime rate higher? No. Right? if you come to Ladera Heights, hold on, brother. When I'm talking, sir, please don't interrupt me when I'm talking. Don't do that. What I'm saying is if you come to Ladera Heights in California, where black people live, right, where it's predominantly or was predominantly black, but I think it still is, in Baldwin Hills, right, where black people live, like the black Beverly Hills, the rate of violence is extremely low. The rate of robbery is extremely low, so on and so forth, right? But if you come to my city, right, if you come to the side of town that I grew up on, it's extremely high. The side of town, not even just my whole city, but you come to Long Beach, where we're like third or fourth right now in the county in unalivings, right? Willowbrook and Compton, Willowbrook, Long Beach, top 3 right now in the state, right? In LA County, hella smurders going down out here. A lot of people getting smurdered out here, right? So it ain't happening where the white tea people live at. It's happening where the Latinos, where the poor Latinos live and the poor black people live. So it's money. It ain't about race. So if you wanted to generalize something, you can say in poor neighborhoods, the violence is higher. That's fine. Statistics will prove that. Same thing with this. Statistics say 98% of the time when a woman says that she was SA'd, she's telling the truth. So it's okay to generalize in that say it don't hurt men. Most men that get accused, they did it. Hold on, too many people are talking at one time. Go one at a time. Go ahead, Bill.
There's a high density of white people that are poor. There's more poor white people in this country. You go to Ohio, nothing but poor whites, ask David Chappelle. My point I'm making, I think the guy is trying to make the point that where black people and people of color are focused.
Oh, is it gone?
I don't know. He might have got a phone call. You can go ahead, JoJo.
Okay. Well, yeah. I was a little bit confused because, like, I know you said, like,
oh, hold on. Wait. Bill, are you back? Whenever you come. Okay, there you go. Okay.
Did you hear what I said?
You cut out. You dropped for a second.
I said that if you look at poor whites all across the country, they're extreme. They're in Ohio, West Virginia. They're not committing violent crimes at the rate of poor people of color committing crimes.
Who told you that?
Ohio,
who told you that?
You compare city to city.
Who told you that? Where are you getting that from? That's not true.
I mean, you can just go and look at Ohio. Just pull up any city in Ohio, nothing but poor whites. And then you pull up any city that's comparable in St. Louis, in Missouri or New Orleans. Louisiana.
Yeah,
you can see
but
cities that are
Bill,
far more violent crime.
Yeah, but Bill, you're wrong. First and foremost, they are committing crimes at a extremely high rate in those cities. First and foremost. Second of all, what is the relevancy of that? What we're talking about? Beyond what the point you're trying to make, which is a moot point at this point, but beyond that, what does it have to do with the topic at hand?
Well, you all were talking about where violent crime is focused, and you were saying you were trying to make the parallel that, hey, black people don't commit excess amount of crime. If anything, we're less violent.
We are,
and I think that because of we can have excuses for it: slavery, Jim Crow, low income, but you still have to say that there are far more higher densities of violent crime that are being perpetuated in cities or towns of people of color than in white cities and people of color. Now, why that is, I don't know. But I mean, you could just pick up any city in Ohio and compare it to any city in California where black people are. Per capita, you'll see it's higher, just like Gary. Even if Gary's not number one, I mean, look at it.
Yeah, Gary has a lot of white people too. But go ahead, Dexter.
I think his point, to continue on that, is like there is a statistic that the number one reason for unaliving for black youth is homicide. So I'm just saying in general, to compare this to the topic, if I was to assume someone's accused a black man of unaliving someone, and the statistics show that he's more than likely that he probably did that, it would be kind of ignorant to say, oh, I automatically believe him. The same way you said for JoJo, if someone's accused of
what? Wait, say that again. Say that again. I don't think that makes any sense. Say that again. I'm sorry, I'm confused.
So you said that if you claim that 98% of accusers are more than likely
telling the truth.
Of it.
No,
the truth.
Yeah, they're telling the truth.
You could use that same thing and say, oh, well, that black man's more than likely that he actually unalived someone.
No, that's stupid. Because most black men don't commit murder, sir.
And most men don't commit rape.
No, that's not true. But
what? You think most men commit rape?
Yeah. I think over 50% of men have. Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Is that kind of crazy?
Where did you get that from?
Well, let me ask you a question. Have you when a woman tells you no, do you stop completely?
Yes. If you do, they never say no though.
That's something the rapist would say. So yeah, of course sometimes they say no. But wait, I think hold on, stop. What I'm saying is that when a woman says no, right? Even if you're not in her presence, I'm not even saying like you're in the act of doing it. I'm just saying like you're talking to her, you're texting her, whatever it is. If she says no, do you never ask her again? Do you never circle back? Or do you try again?
Circle back.
Mm-hmm. You circle back most of the time, right? Most men do.
If you circle back, is that rape?
No, listen, I'm gonna walk you guys down the path of what I'm talking about so you can understand it. So you're texting a woman, you're talking to a woman on the phone. Hey, man, whatever. You're asking her straight out, when you gonna come on? When you gonna let me smell it? When you go, whatever, right? Whatever game niggas be saying. She like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. Wooty woo woo. Nah, come on, I'm not. You not take. I know most motherfuckers ain't taking no for an answer in that situation. What I'm saying is most men are not going, okay, I respect your wishes, ma'am. You let me know when you're ready. 99% of men ain't doing that. Okay, cool. That's over the phone. Okay, now you're in person. Now y'all kissing. Now y'all doing whatever you doing, right? I'm not ready. You're saying, okay, I respect that. Tell me when you're ready. Whenever you're ready, let me know. You're saying y'all tell me. You think even if y'all gonna sit up here and say you never done that before, that's fine, because I know a lot of y'all don't like to be honest, so I ain't gonna even hold you. I'm asking you right now. Hold on, Dexter. Hold on. I'm asking you with that information I'm giving you, with the question that I'm giving you. Do you think that most men are going, okay, I respect your wishes? Or do you think most men are going, come on, let me smell it. Let me put my tongue in it. Let me taste it. I don't even want to have sex.
Considering that 99% of women are confusing 99% of
That's not, sir. Stop. That's not the point. Answer the question. Don't deflect.
Yes. The answer is yes. Most men are going to act to stop.
They're gonna keep. Hold on. Wait. Bill, stop. You're not adding nothing to it, bro. You're trying to derail it. I'm telling you. Okay, the answer is yes. JoJo's the answer, yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So if you and a woman are in a room together with just you two, or in a car, or whatever the case may be, it's just a man and a woman, and you won't take no for an answer. You ask her multiple times, can you smell it? Can you touch it? You keep kissing her. Eventually, if she lets you hit, did she let you do it because she wanted to? Or do you think it's a possibility she did it because she felt like there may be some negative consequences if she were to say no?
I'm going to say, let's go with the second. Let's go with the first one. Let's say that she thinks that we're going to kill her if she doesn't do it.
Or yeah, it don't even got to be that extreme, but yeah.
Or we're going to beat her.
Or whatever. But there's a million. I could give you a million different situations.
Now, some of those situations, 99% of those situations, those people end up going on to hit again, or be married, or be in long-term relationships.
So
and in less than 1% of those situations, that girl says, I felt threatened and you raped me.
Sir, hold on, wait, Bill. You're not making the point you think you're making. You're not making the point you think you're making. You just proved my point. It doesn't matter what happens after the fact. That's irrelevant.
Whether women, when she goes home and she feels like she was violated. If a woman says, I go on to marry her, she doesn't say, well, the first time I was with my husband.
So you're excusing. So you're excusing coercion by saying, well, coercion is coercion. Hold on, Bill. Hold on. Coercion is great. Coercion is essay. 100%. Coercion 100. Coercion is 100% essay. 100%.
You talk a bitch out of pants. Excuse me, my language. You talk a girl out of her pants. That's not rape.
If you talk, hold on.
Wait. Is that like a thing that coercion is considered rape?
Yes.
I've never heard that before.
See, hold on. And I'm glad you. And this is
every man is raping. So
and this is
100% of men are raping.
exactly. Now you guys are catching on. Say, hold on, time out, Jojo. Say, hold on, wait. Say it again, Dexter. Say it again, Dexter. What does that mean?
That would mean 150% of men are raping.
Okay, thank you. We have arrived. What?
Honestly, bro, that's because I never heard that. That's ridiculous.
So because you've never heard of
Are
something,
you a rapist?
hold on. You guys are talking over me and over each other. Yes, I've done it before. It's just like you guys right now as grown, fully adult men. I think JoJo might be younger, but you guys right now don't understand the concept of coercion. I didn't either. It is so ingrained in our culture, and we have a grape culture in this country and in the West in general. Well, all across the globe, it's a grape culture, like not just in America. Japan has a grape culture. North Korea, South Korea has a grape culture. Russia has a grape culture. Everywhere, right? It's a grape culture everywhere because the patriarchy is everywhere. So, yes, that's my point. You guys think that I'm going to remove myself from this situation, act like I've never done it before. No, that's y'all. I don't lie about shit like this. I can be honest because I actually want the problem to be rectified. Yes.
Do you think you should go to jail?
I should, maybe. Back then. Shit, if you want to, brother, coercion is grape. Yeah.
So in your worldview, coercion and smooth talking a girl or making her feel good, whatever, that is on the same level.
You're not making her feel good, Dexter.
If you're fully taking advantage of a girl and date rape, like putting stuff in her drink and all kinds of those words are synonymous.
Those
are no. That's what I'm saying. You guys, I'm glad you guys are up here having this conversation. I'm not even joking. I'm glad there is no better group of men that I would want to be having this conversation with right now, because none of you guys understand what consent looks like, obviously, right? So I'm glad you guys are up here having this conversation. I mean that with all due respect, and I appreciate you listening. So essay is an umbrella, right? There's an umbrella of essay. There's not like essay isn't one thing. Essay looks like a million different things, right? So I'm not getting caught up in legality. I'm talking about morality right now, right? That's more what I'm talking about. So you asking a woman multiple times, you want to minimize it by calling it sweet talking her out of her panties or whatever. You didn't talk her out of her panties. You scared her out of her panties. You made her feel uncomfortable out of her panties. And so she gave it up to you. Now, just because she spins the block doesn't mean that that doesn't change anything, because women are also conditioned to think that that's normal. A lot of women don't understand consent. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If you ask the woman, though, who that has happened to, and ask them, why would you allow a man, you said no at 10 p.m. By 11 p.m., you was on his D. How did that happen? What compelled you to do that? If you actually made a woman go through what led her to that, she would go, oh shit, that's what. So just because she let you do it doesn't mean that it didn't happen. That's what I'm saying.
Well, 1 second. A lot of women, I know you said that women don't, they don't understand consent too, but a lot of women will also say as well, like, hey, I love to play the hard to get game. Like, shoot, this is a box. This is a queen's box. Like, you can't, like, they can touch this. They're gonna have to try real hard in order to get this. They're gonna have to play hard. So I mean, like, in the case to where we're actually playing the game, like the playing their game, which is hard to get. I mean, is that really
what?
That's it at the end of the day.
What do you mean?
Like, because
what are you talking about?
Yeah, women like to play hard. Women like to play hard to get.
That's what men. That's a lie that men tell. You're trying to say women say that. Women don't say that. That's what you hear men say. Oh, she's playing hard to get. There's literally a song. There's a song called "She's Playing Hard to Get." Men sang that shit. Women didn't sing. Women didn't sing that song. A boy band sang that song.
I'm just saying they do. You do have. I'm not saying there's an overwhelming majority of them, but you do have those women that do.
Sir, okay. Can we not? So can we not talk about the minority of women who quote unquote play hard to get? Can we talk about the vast majority of women who aren't playing hard to get, who literally just mean they don't want to have sex with you?
I got you. I'm not saying I wouldn't even say it's a minority, though. But I mean,
it is sir. So you mean to tell me that the majority of women, when they say no, they don't really mean it?
So hold on. And this is a great question. A lot of people might come for me for this, but is there a difference between no and no? Stop it. Like, is there
no means no? See, this is weird. No means no. No means no.
Like, it's a serious situation, y'all. I know. No means
I'm dead serious. Like,
until it says yes.
This is crazy.
No, I'm asking a legit question because
but according to him, yes means coercion. So there is no and there's no yes. So if you say no,
that's true,
and then you change your mind and say yes, you automatically coercion in your
coercing. You don't even know the word. It's coercing. But so let me ask you a question, Bill. Since you think you got it all figured out, if you were if your manager or boss at work asks you to do something that is outside of your job description, do you feel compelled to do that task?
No, I think that's fine.
Yeah, I know, but I'm asking you, do you feel compelled to do that task?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, even though it's outside of your job description, meaning like this is not even what you're like. Yes, he can ask you to do something personal. To do that task, yes. Go get him coffee or something like that, right? Okay, cool. That's not your job. Cool. Yes, you feel you don't think about it in that way in that moment, but if you really thought about it, that is, he don't have to even say anything, or they don't have to say, if you don't do this, I'm going to fire you. If you don't do this, I'm going to punish you. You just understand there is a power, an imbalance. There is a power dynamic that is going on where they have more power than you, and you naturally conclude, if I don't do this, there may be some, or probably will be some ramifications. That's just common. That's human. That's just human nature. That's common sense. Huh?
Is that illegal at work?
No, it's not illegal at work.
Is that illegal at work?
No. Illegal at work doesn't make sense. But no, that's not illegal. I'm just trying to help you understand the concept. But yes, it would be against the guidelines or the bylines of the company if they kept doing it. If they ask you one time, go give me a cup of coffee. Hey, Bill, can you give me a cup of coffee? And you go, yeah, and you do it, and then you go up to the to HR and say, hey, they asked me to get a cup of coffee. I feel like they were abusing their power. You can actually report them for that. I guarantee you could, right? I'm not saying like something would happen. Because we know HR don't really be doing shit for their employees, but you could report that, like, yeah, and I felt, and you can tell them exactly this. You can say, I felt like if I didn't get the cup of coffee, there may have been a punishment for me. But I went and got a cup of coffee for them. It took me 20 minutes and I was on the clock, and it took me away from my desk for 20 minutes. And I didn't appreciate that. You can tell your HR that. I almost guarantee you HR will address that. They will. They'll tell them, yeah, don't be asking your employees to go get you a cup of coffee. Now, but will they retaliate against you? Probably. But hey, that's why most people don't do it, because they're afraid. They're more afraid of the retaliation that comes after that. See what I'm saying? So, but yes, is it wrong to do that? And yeah, it's still wrong for them it's still wrong for your boss to tell you to go get a fucking cup of coffee, bro. Even, you know what I'm saying? For them, it is wrong of them to ask to make you go. No, I won't say make you, but ask you to go do that, right? You can easily be like, yeah, I felt like that was unreasonable because that's not in my job description. Easily. So the same rules apply on the job, off the job, in the bedroom, in the backseat of your car, at a school. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So, to my original point, if women accuse you, and since the stats are 98% that women are telling the truth, if you are afraid of being falsely accused, it is because you are indeed a rapist. or capable of it, which I think most men are capable of.
You think Kobe Bryant raped that girl that had sex with 4 other dudes and had semen in her vagina for 4 other dudes in a 24-hour time span?
What does you do realize that SWs can get raped, right? I don't know if you know that.
No, I'm just asking you.
Yeah, I know. I'm asking you. Do you know that SWs can get raped? So even if she got 13 men's semen in her,
I'm with you.
The 14th man she could have said no to, and if that 14th man was Kobe Bryant, then he raped her. So what was the point of bringing up the? Hold on, but Bill, hold on. If you understand that, then why would you ask me that question? Why would you ask me? Why would you try to throw that? She had 4 dudes semen in there that was supposed to be like some gotcha.
Because a lot of times, let me tell you why. Because a lot of times, the only thing you have is your word against someone else's. And when you only have one word against someone else's, and I know that a lot of men will say what you're saying because that's a way of being able to psyop, other women because they're rapists themselves, and they use that to get closer to women and make them feel like, oh, I'm.
First of all, use TikTok friendly words. Stop using the word. It's grape. Say grape, Bill. Please. Yeah, secondly, you're using the word psyop wrong. Once again, you don't know the word you're using. So if you're gonna try to be disrespectful, at least know the words you're using. Use them right. Use them correctly. Because you sound stupid. You sound dumber than you do. Even if you said the word right, what you're saying is stupid. But go ahead. I just want to help you out. Go ahead, Bill. I'm listening.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, all I'm saying, this is my major point. My major point is that we're all human beings, and we all deserve to be innocent until proven guilty, and we all deserve to know that there's people
who told you that
will accuse you of things that you didn't do, and there's people that you accuse people of things you didn't do.
Nah.
I bet you if I called up 3 of your ex-girlfriends, they would tell me that you were the person that was wrong, and you would tell me that they were wrong.
No, I would say I was wrong.
They would tell you
I would say no, Bill. I'm not. Stop, Bill. Stop projecting. I'm not like you, obviously, right? You have a problem with taking accountability. I don't. I was wrong. I've said it on my platform many a times. If me and my wife get divorced, it's because of me. Me and my ex, she broke up with me because I did her wrong. Like, yeah, I take full accountability for the things that I've done. I don't lie like y'all. You a bold-faced liar. You lying right now. That's not me. Don't put that shit on me. I don't have no look, man. I am actually about finding solutions, right? I'm not about protecting my image. I'm not about protecting my ego. I would rather us get to a place to where men stop raping women. I would rather for us get to a place to where men stop raping little kids. Like I want to get there. And if that takes for me, hold on, Bill. And if that takes for me to acknowledge my wrongdoings, then great. I'm willing to do that. Are you? Or are you gonna sit here and keep lying and projecting?
Do you think there's ever any wrongdoings of women?
Like what?
I'm gonna say that based on your scenario, this couple goes on and gets married. They get married. They have 6 kids, and they're married for 30 years. And then in the divorce, she says, "Well, the first time we were together, he raped me because I said no." And then he said
that never happens, Bill. Can you say something that's actually relevant instead of making up these niggatheticals that I don't give a fuck about? Like say stuff that's actually pertinent to the conversation.
That actually happened.
When?
Look at Cassie. Cassie said she was raped for 10 years.
You keep saying, I'm gonna have to drop you. You keep saying the word. Can you say grape, please? No, grape, rapist, grape, right? That didn't happen to Cassie. Cassie was 19 years old when she met Diddy. And he used his power to manipulate her and coerce her and abuse her. So you're wrong.
What age should women be able to date men?
What?
What age should men be able to date? What age should women be able to date men?
What is that? What do you mean? Be more specific.
You said she was 19. Mm-hmm. She was 19. So if she was 25, would that have changed the scenario?
Depends on how old I think he was in his 30s. So not for me. But it's better. It's better than 19.
So what about all the black college athletes like Johnson? He's out of Ohio State. Him and his buddy, they got accused by like white girls on campus. Mm-hmm. They're trying to like exploit him for money. They're getting NIL deals. It's happening pretty often now.
Yeah,
with all the.
It's not happening pretty often now. It's always been happening.
It happened just Ohio State.
I know it happens. Sir, it happens often. Men get accused of rape all the time because most of them be graping. But what about all the men? You want to talk about Jameis Winston? Twice?
I don't know what happened with Jameis
Oh, you don't know what happened with Jameis Winston. It's funny that you only know about the ones that where allegedly they didn't do it, but you don't know about the ones.
Ohio, so I know about Ohio State students.
Yeah. Well, you should read more then. Get out of Ohio State then. Jameis Winston is he's in the NFL or was in the NFL, right? So what about hold on, you from Ohio? What about Big Ben?
Yeah, and he should have been held accountable for that, for sure.
But he wasn't.
And that's sad.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
But the conversation is about you accusing of all men are guilty, essentially, and there's cases where these black guys
98% black, white, or otherwise are guilty. What do you not understand? You think I'm gonna change it because it's a black man? You think I'm gonna be biased because it's a black man? I don't care if it's a black man and a white. I don't care. 98% of the time, the women are not lying.
And where do you get that from? Where do you get that?
FBI, bro. It's a you can look it up. It's on the FBI. Yeah, it's an FBI site. It's in between 2 and 10%.
So 98% of the time a woman makes an accusation, the man is actually guilty.
Yeah, 98% of the time, in between 2 and 10% of the time. So let's go high. Let's say 10% of the time, which I normally do for argument's sake. It's at the highest is 10% of the time. So one out of 10 times at best, the woman isn't true. And do you know that when women make false accusations, the majority of the time, that it is not that they're just saying Dexter raped me and you had nothing to do with it, like just to like pin it on you. You know why they do it? Because they falsely identify people on accident. Because human beings are human beings.
They falsely accuse somebody of SA.
Yeah, that like if me and you looked alike, and you and they JoJo, it was him, but it was really me. Happens all the time. You know, it's an eyewitness account.
It just happens to be the star quarterback for the team.
I'm not talking about the stupid scenario you're talking about, Dexter. I'm telling you, look, see if you want to. You only read about the shit that is sensationalized. You don't care about the real data. You're cherry picking. Y'all the same motherfuckers that are telling me that the reason why y'all the ones when we talk about paternity fraud, y'all will bring up fucking what's his name? Not Jerry Springer. Who's the other dude? Maury Povich, and act like that's the source. Like, I don't give a fuck about Maury Povich. That ain't got nothing to do with paternity fraud. Y'all think that because you read it in a magazine or you read it online, then that must mean it's a problem. It's not. It's sensationalized. The reason why you read it is because he plays football, and men love to we live in a great culture where we want to paint this picture that men are actually not out here doing this shit. Oh, see, he wasn't guilty. But I'm gonna tell you this about wealthy, powerful men. When a wealthy, powerful man is accused of rape, I believe it. I mean, it's almost impossible to get me to not to believe it, because think about it from this, because a lot of people look at it differently, right? A lot of men specifically, when what's the dude, the best soccer player dude, Ronaldo, he was accused of rape in Vegas or something like that, right? Like a while ago. I believed it instantly. And a bunch of people, I remember talking to my homie, he was like, look at him, man. He's worth $1 million and $1 billion and da-da-da-da-da. You know what I mean? And like, why would he ever have to rape and da-da-da-da? Right? To Bill's point, same thing with Kobe, right? Think about this. When you are a star athlete worth hundreds of millions of dollars and nobody has ever said no to you, right? No woman, no man, nobody says no to you. You're in a position with a woman and she says no to you. Do you, in your mind, there's two things that's going to happen a lot of times with those men. A, the entitlement for those men is through the fucking roof. So I'm going to take it. So they take it. But then they also go, who's going to believe her? I'm Ronaldo. So they have that too. So for them, they're like, it's a win-win. Like, there's nothing this person is going to be able to do. I'm going to take it from her, right? Trump said, I walk up to women and grab them by the vaginas. Did he not? He said it to another man. I know he didn't know his mic was hot, but he still said it out loud to another man. He just openly admitted to essaying women.
Didn't he say they let them?
No, he said he walks up and grabbed them by the vaginas. He didn't say they let them.
He said when you're a celebrity, they let you.
Sir, no woman lets a man grab them by the vagina. That's a fucking lie.
That's what he said.
Okay. All right. Cool.
But I get what you're saying about the power dynamic.
Yeah, I'm not. This is so crazy. Go ahead. Hold on. Let me read some things to you guys. Some people might be messaging you. Miller Time said, "Not even going to front. That let me taste it is sorcery." She said she'd be falling for that. Tia said, "Can't hear guest responses. Volume is low." Oh, okay. Hold on. All right. Hopefully you guys can hear it now. I'm sorry, y'all. Kendra said consent equals if it's not an enthusiastic yes, then it's a no. It's not hard, but it's not hard, but shows they don't respect women as adults. Trini said got hogtied, gagged, and raped by my ex-boyfriend. Jesus Christ. I was celibate for 2 years when we met. He said he was giving me what I wanted. I never reported it. Yeah, that's most of the time. Sorry that happened to you too, Trini. Maureen said, I need Bill to address kids are different because what the fuck? JP said, when your 16-year-old granny married your 30-year-old pawpaw, was that great? Kendra said, let me be clear about my prior chat. Men don't respect women as consenting adults that can be direct about what we want to experience. I got you, Kendra. I knew what you were saying. She said, these men are willing to play victim for imaginary scenarios to uphold their inexcusable behavior. Grape is about power at all socioeconomic levels. Deja said, y'all trick / coerce girls into sleeping with you. And there you have it.
I don't know. I still find it crazy that coercion, that game is considered coercion, but okay.
It's not. What is game? What is game, JoJo?
Man, game is game. You got to be in the game to know.
What is game?
Making a girl. Game is how you spit in. It's what
no, what is what? They call it Riz. Hold on. They call it Riz now. Hold on. Riz is short for charisma, right? But what is game? Think about it. Think about what game is.
Making a girl want to sleep with you.
No, where did the word come from? What culture does the word game come from? Specifically, like it's a very specific culture.
Hip hop, Black American culture. I'm assuming. I don't know. Yeah, it comes from us.
It came from pimp culture.
Oh.
Yeah. So when you run, and what is it? And what? And how do you describe running game on a girl? What does that sound like to you? Running game on a girl.
You said running game. I never say running game. I say spit game.
It's sir. I'm not getting caught up in the semantics. I'm telling you that's how it's commonly used. Running game on a woman means what? What does that sound like to you?
Like exactly what Dexter said. Like just getting her to like you, and then eventually y'all take it to the next
and getting her to like you how? And how do you get a girl that prior to whatever she didn't like you, right? Now she likes you. How are you getting her to like you? Are you being honest with her? Are you telling her?
Make her feel secure. Honest with her, making her laugh, you making her giggle a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Flexing your status.
Yeah. So you guys. Yeah, that's not true. So you guys think because that's not game. That is the opposite of game, Dexter. Pulling up with your hold on. Pulling up in your G-Wagon is not game. That's the opposite of game. Showing off how much money you have is the opposite of game. That's not game. That you literally have a lot of money. So if you have
2 cars, one's a G-Wagon and one's the Toyota Honda, I'm gonna run game.
What is a Toyota Honda? What is a Toyota Honda?
Like a Corolla or something. So if I have 2 cars and I choose the G-Wagon,
nobody is doing that.
That's game.
Yeah, but nobody is doing that. But that also would be manipulative. Hold on. Nobody is doing that, Dexter. No wealthy person is driving a Honda Accord to trick women into believing they don't have money. They driving a fucking G-Wagon.
You're missing what I'm saying. I say if I own 2 cars, one's a G-Wagon and one's a Honda. If I choose to pick her up in the G-Wagon, I'm intentionally running game.
So you're manipulating her. You're proving my point. So you're manipulating her. Yeah.
That's not manipulating. That's running game. How is that manipulating? How is that manipulating? I have both cars. I'm trying to show her a better car. I'm trying to show her a better life.
What? You're not. You're showing her that you.
Show myself in a better light.
Hold on. You have a Honda Accord. Why would a person with G-Wagon have a Honda Accord? I don't know. But you have a Honda Accord. so that and you deliberately go to places that you know women are at, so you can show them you driving a Honda Accord, but really you got a G-Wagon. What's the purpose in you doing that?
No, let's say I meet a girl online and I'm gonna go pick her up. Rather than picking her up in my Honda, I'm gonna pick her up in my G-Wagon, and that's running game.
That's not running game. You have a G-Wagon. You don't know what game is. Are you white? I'm sorry, you white, right?
No, I'm black.
Dexter,
what?
Are you black for real? Are you? Because you got a picture of her. All right, so you got a picture of a raccoon in your thing, which is fitting.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like Uncle like a coon. It's funny.
Oh, I know. Ain't nothing funny about cooning.
It's funny to me.
Yeah, it would be to a raccoon. But yeah, no, you're not making any sense. That's not running game. And so neither one of you are even familiar with the term running game, right? But you get the general idea, which is to manipulate women, and you're trying to act like that's not what it is.
It's not manipulating. Manipulation is lying. It's manipulation. Like
manipulation is definitely running game.
There's no coercion to it. Okay. So you're saying like the art of getting someone to like you, and getting the girl to say, "Hey, let's do the thing," is a form of manipulation.
It's 99% of the time when I don't consider running game the same as getting a woman to like you. You guys, that's what I'm saying. You guys don't know the difference. So getting a woman to feel more comfortable with you by being honest with her and being vulnerable with her so that she can be in turn vulnerable with you is not you running game. That's you being honest, right? That's not game. Game is dishonest. Game is manipulation. So when you say that the way that you get a girl, when you say the way that men get women to be attracted to them is by running game, I agree, because men manipulate women. Most men have to lie to women to get women to pay them any type of attention, right? So men are constantly running, quote unquote, running game, aka lying, aka manipulating, which typically leads to coercion. Typically.
No, dude. I highly disagree with that, bro. You do not have to lie to these girls. I'm telling you right now. Even these girls in the group chat that's calling me and Dexter freaking rapists and all this other crap, I guarantee you make them laugh in a club, bro. They giggling their way down the street, down Brick Boulevard, and they getting slapped, bro. They getting slapped 1,000%.
Yeah. So Jojo. So Jojo. Jojo. I'm gonna tell you something, and I don't like to pull this card because I'm gonna tell you something right now. You are not that guy, right? First and foremost. I'm not even joking. I'm sorry, no shade, no tea. You aren't him, right? Now, I am not. I'm married. I'm 42. So this is not a brag. I'm just being honest, right?
Oh, that's why you call game differently.
No, I call it what it is. I call game what it actually is. But anyways, I'm gonna tell you something. Jojo, you seem pretty young. How old are you? 23, 24?
I'm 25.
25. Okay. So you 25 years old. Okay. So when I was 25, I would be what you guys nowadays will refer to as a super chat, right? So the guy you're talking about, like you just got to make him laugh in the club. And I was that nigga. Like I was the guy. I did that stuff. I lived that life. I'm telling you without a doubt, with no doubt, no qualms about it, running game is necessary even for super chats, even for attractive men, for charismatic men, for men who dress nice, for men who smell good. I promise you that, and I'm not saying it for every single girl. Some girls would just walk up to you and they would be like, I want to be with you. And that would happen a lot. I had a fair amount of women that would just be like, I like you and I want you. And they would talk to me and whatever, right? But for the women that didn't do that, I would have to run game constantly. So to my point, what I'm saying is when you talk the way you do about men and women and you act like all women are 304s, when that couldn't be further, when women are so very selective, the majority of women are, women also sleep with less men than men sleep with women per capita, even though women have 1,000 times more access to men than we do to women. Women somehow sleep with less women than we sleep with less men than we sleep with women, right? So for every one girl JoJo has access to, a woman has 100 men, right? But your body count is 5 and her body count is 3. That's what I'm saying. So women are very selective with who they lay down with. And you want me to believe right now that all you got to do is make her laugh and she gonna just, that's not true. You're not, I could tell by that statement you're not him. Anybody that's him, you would know what it really takes and how much effort and time and what you have to do and all of that stuff. You know, I've been there. You can't lie to me.
I got you, brother. Hey, I hope you have this again. I actually got to go, but I do love this topic. I want to come back to it.
All right. I'll spend a block on it one time.
Yeah, I learned something. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Yep.
Yep.
All right. All right, man. Hey, let's run up them lights. Let's get over 100,000 right brief. We're going to take a quick little intermission. I need a palate cleanser after that. There was a lot of gross things being said. Condra said, these men are willing to, hold on. She said, you showing her what you have, misleading her to think she can be with you seriously to gain access. You don't even like her. That is manipulation. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's get them likes up, man. Over 100,000 real quick, and I'll get the next person up here. So the thing that I want to say is, in real time, you had 25-year-old, I'm sure a couple of dudes 30 and they 30 sounded like, you got grown adult men who don't understand consent. I was one of those men. So I'm not saying that I was him. I was one of those men, no doubt about it. But I'm just saying, it's so easy for men to not understand consent. It is. It is. And it's more important for men to understand consent than women to understand consent. It's more important for us to understand consent. So I don't really, yes, I know that also a lot of women don't understand consent too, right? Because they're conditioned, they're conditioned to not understand it the same way men are, right? But the people who really need to understand consent the most are men, because we are by far most likely going to be the ones to great, to essay, to harm, right? So yeah, we need to make sure that we understand consent. It's important for us to understand it. And that's why it's important for us to have these topics, right? Believe women doesn't mean believe all women. Believe women means initially you believe the woman. You don't automatically write off the woman when she says that she was essayed or raped or whatever the case may be, because like studies have shown, most of the time women are telling the truth. So statistically, if you were going to place a bet, right? If this was like literally like a bet, like you had money, you wanted to wager money, and you were trying to win money. If you bet against a woman, you would lose your money 98% of the time. If you bet against a man, you would win 98% of the time, right? And I'm not talking about how many times they prove it or not. I'm just saying based on the stats. So why are men so reluctant to believe a woman when she comes forward? I'll tell you. The reason why men are so reluctant to believe women, right? The reason why men are so reluctant to believe women is because we are taught to not believe women. We are taught to silence women when they come forward. When a woman accuses a man, we are all, men and women, we are all conditioned to not trust her. Women have to unpack that too. That's not even, you see what I'm saying? We are all conditioned to think that. What does she have on? Now, women do that unpacking way faster than men, because when girls start experiencing that shit at 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So they get a crash course and like, oh, no, I see. That 19-year-old girl or that 17-year-old girl in her science class being hit on by the teacher, she understands Monica Lewinsky now. When she heard the story initially, maybe she didn't understand it, right? But she understands it at 60. She's like, damn, or you get it when you're 25 and you working, in an office with a bunch of men, right? And your boss is constantly hitting on you. Now you can clock that shit, right? Cool. So women, they unpack that shit way faster. Men don't. We don't have a reason to, right? We don't have a reason to. So we get to live our whole lives completely oblivious to the plight of women. We get to live our whole lives completely oblivious to the fact that when a woman, that first of all, when a woman comes forward and a woman says that she makes the accusation or the claim that a man has SA'd her, that just for her to do that takes an extreme amount of courage and resolve. Like just that act in and of itself should make men, our eyebrows should raise up. Just that alone, because you got to know, look at what happens when women come forward, whether they're telling the truth or not. And that man, like in the bill, he brought up Cassie. It is beyond a shadow of a doubt that Sean Puffy Combs is an abuser, and he abused her specifically. So even when the man is abusive, even when you catch him in 4K, men will still figure out a way to blame the victim. So yeah, when women come forward, I'm like, damn, she's courageous as fuck. Good luck. So the least I can do as a man is not get online and be like, I don't believe her. She signed up for this shit. That's like right. It ain't even that hard. The least I can do is to not try to sway public opinion and get online and be messy. That's the least I can do. The least I can do when a woman says that our manager did something to her at work, the least I can do is keep my fucking mouth closed. The least I can do. That's the least I can do is keep my fucking mouth closed when it's brought up in a circle of people and they start trying to tear her apart. The least I can do is shut the fuck up and not contribute to it. I should interject and say, no, we shouldn't be talking like that, right? And actually offer a level of protection. But I'm saying at the least, can you shut the fuck up about it? Can you not get online and be like, well, Cassie, she just wanted money. Y'all can't even not do that. So no, yeah, it's important for us to have this conversation. It's important for us to have this conversation. After the last 2 weeks of lives that I've been holding and talking to men and about coercion and about rape, it's long overdue. We gotta run this shit every month. We gotta run this prompt every month at this point. Like, cause the way that men don't understand coercion is crazy. The way that men don't understand SA is wild. The same way white people don't understand racism, the same way men don't understand misogyny, the same way wealthy people don't understand classism, the same way Americans don't understand American chauvinism or exceptionalism. It's the same way men don't understand SA. The same shit. Get some of these. Yep, the privilege is rampant. What up? Is it Issa or Issa? Isa?
It's Issa.
Issa, what up, Issa?
Hey man, so I wanted to get to speak about the portion where you said the only men who are afraid of falsely being accused of fruiting someone are fruitists.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that's the case?
Because 98% of the time it's correct.
Right. So you're looking at the FBI statistic, correct?
Not at this moment, but yeah.
Right. So it says that about 2 to 8% or 2 to 10% of investigations are founded to be unfounded, right? And that when they say unfounded, they mean that there isn't substantial evidence behind it.
Yeah. So even then, it doesn't mean that the man didn't do it. It just means that they couldn't.
I understand that, right? But those are the ones that go to investigation. Those are the ones that the FBI or the police force investigated. And I'm saying that there are many cases that haven't been investigated, right? And
they wait. So listen to what you're saying. You're the only ones that would even resonate would be the ones that get investigated. It's so hard to eat because most of the time they're just going, we're not even investigating that.
Yeah, because recently in Minneapolis, right, the city that I'm from, right? They had in 2020, I think 2022, there's a big scandal during, I think this was right around the time. No, I think it was a couple months after the George Floyd death. It came out that the Minneapolis, the Minneapolis like state
troopers,
the police force had hundreds of thousands of untested rape kits, right?
Yeah, everybody knows that.
And that's a shame, right?
Yeah.
But there are a lot of cases in which that there's a lot of nuance, right? And I'm saying that people are afraid, a lot of men, right? And it's not only people who are of bad character, because there are, how do I say this? There are a lot of individuals who simply are afraid of it, and it's not necessarily unfounded.
It's 100% unfounded, because once again, I'm going to go back to the stats. Almost 100% of the time, the women are telling the truth. So why would you be worried about it if you never? That is a signal that says that if I don't do it, then I don't have to worry about it. If I don't do it, because women aren't falsely accusing men, that's what that is telling you. That's what I'm saying. They're not falsely accusing men just like, hey, Issa, he did it, and you were fucking sleeping in your bed 10 miles away. Like, that's not happening. So the only way that is happening, like 98% of the time, is if you actually did it. Why are you worried about it? Why would I be worried about something that I know the only way I'm gonna get accused of it is if I actually do it?
So here's my angle on it, right? My view on it, because those are the ones that are going to get investigated. Not every case gets investigated, right? And I'm speaking about an interpersonal relationships, right? And there are a lot of nuances, right? And so I think personally, what I believe is that most men that I speak to are afraid of it, of being accused. And I don't think that every man that I know is someone who has those types of proclivities.
How do you know when most men actually do grape or coerce women into having sex with them? Of course they do.
So what do you define as fruits? Like what do you define with that?
Well, grape is grape, right? So grape is its own category. SA is the all-encompassing, it's the umbrella. But groping would fall under SA, but it wouldn't fall under grape, right? But yeah, like penetration is grape.
Well, I'll just sit back and listen, because I don't have a great point of, do you want to say?
I think what I'm trying to understand is why it's so odd to me that the things that men listen to, not odd, it's not odd, it makes complete sense, but the things that men listen to, right? So you don't care about the facts, you don't care about the stats, you don't care about the scores of women that will testify to you and tell you that you don't need to fear them. They're not gonna do whatever. Right? Like all the things are against you. And all it takes is for men to tell you that you should fear this thing. And you will believe it. You don't think that's odd?
I think you do bring up a good point, right? Someone in the chat said that that I shouldn't be having intimacy because I'm Muslim. Yes, I am Muslim, right? And so I'm not someone who partakes in having intimacy, right? And I don't have what you call it. I'm a virgin, right? And so even myself, right? I'm not someone who's even really searching out having intimacy with women, and still I'm still have sometimes the fear of someone coming around and making an accusation against me, even though I'm not someone who participates in that culture. And so, do you think that there isn't any chance that something like that could ever happen to me?
I think there's below a 2% chance.
Below a 2% chance? Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair then.
I think I'm not, anything can happen, but do I think it's something that you should be concerned about? That's fucking crazy. I think you should be way more concerned about the protection of women than you are the protection of men in this instance.
All right.
Right? And I think that men publicly or privately, but definitely publicly going on public platforms saying that it can happen and it's a threat. The reason, and I'm going to give you grace because it sounds like you really just don't know, right? But the reason why They put $20 on you. They said he's a great. They said they put 20 on your head. He said they called you a great sympathizer. But the reason why men do this is to minimize the claims of women. So when a woman says that she was raped, the pushback will be, but what about all the false accusations? Like, why should we believe her? Like, that's the reason why they do that. And you're feeding right into that, right? Do you not understand how that is harmful to women? Or, you know what? I'll take it back, because it ain't just to women. I'm sorry. It's to children and it's to men. Because men get raped too. And the vast majority of the time, men are getting raped by other men. So you as a man, why are you not protecting other men who get raped by other men? You as a man, don't you love children? Why aren't you protecting the kids? Why are you like, think about who you're protecting right now. You're protecting rapists. or even look, fuck it. I don't even know if they're rapists. You're protecting men who are accused of rape versus actual victims of rape. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's a weird, like, if I got to choose between the two, which you can protect both simultaneously, by the way. You don't have to do an either or, but the way you're going about it, you are definitely choosing a side, and the side you're choosing is to protect the rapist or the alleged rapist. That's the side. That's the mantle you're taking up. Like, and I'm here to tell you, you don't need to fear a woman falsely accusing you. You don't need to fear that. I'm trying to help you understand. That is not something that you can fear. A million other things. You are a Muslim in America. You are way more likely to be attacked simply for being a Muslim than you are for being accused of being a rapist. 1,000 times more. You are 1,000 times more likely to be attacked in this country for a hate crime, right? Not for a hate crime, but you know what I'm saying? Somebody committing a hate crime against you, than you are being falsely accused of rape. Like, let's talk about that. We can talk about that. I'll be way more open to talk about how America is extremely Islamophobic, right? Because I love my all my brothers and sisters of the Islamic brothers and sisters. I ain't got no problem with y'all Christians, whatever, right? When it comes to that, I'm gonna protect y'all, but yeah, this shit right here, we gotta protect the women, we gotta protect the children, and we gotta protect the victims. Hold on, brother, you got a lot of back, you got a echo. That's crazy. What up, Hope?
Hi, I wanted to thank you for doing these, and if I could for a moment bring up the fact that when we say informed consent, that's where you guys like using manipulation or lying to get a woman into bed. That's where it becomes a form of rape. There's multiple forms. Someone mentioned in the comments, and I don't know if you saw it, but the removal of condoms without the other person's consent.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And as a multiple survivor, you guys seem to like be more afraid of a possible false report, which is so rare, like I said, and public has said, than what a victim goes through. It changes our life forever.
Can I ask you a question, Hope? Aside from the multiple times, that, which is terrible. In your average relationships with men, did the average man do the things that I'm describing as far as like coercion is concerned?
Yes, and it actually took this app to open my eyes to those events.
See?
And it opened my eyes to when I was 17 and I was taken advantage of by a 30-year-old.
Oh, God.
I actually have very few interactions with men that I can honestly say I would have called consensual. And that's why I keep typing that with everyone I've talked to, it should be freely enthusiastic, informed consent that can be withdrawn at any time. You need to be in tune with each other, that you can read each other's body language. So if her body language has changed or yours does, you check into each other and make sure everything's okay and you can proceed.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing is, if anybody's under the influence of anything, I personally would say don't at all. But you don't want to if that person is too inebriated because they can't consent. Don't start anything if the person is asleep, because a person asleep cannot consent. And these are things that people that are in long-term relationships or marriages have talked about, this being something that they went for years thinking normal and didn't realize that they were being abused. And that's what I like the public brings up, is a lot of women don't even know that they're being taken advantage of, because a lot of times, even through certain religions, we've been conditioned to think we're supposed to.
Yeah.
And we're human beings. Everybody's human beings. We should be treated with respect so that we can enjoy our spicy time with our partner.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. E. Marie, to your point, Hope, she said a lot of men don't even consider the head push, quote unquote, or putting it in when a girl is asleep as SA, but they all try it.
Yeah.
That's all undoubtedly assault.
Yeah. But a lot of men do it in relationships, married couples, like she's talking about. Haley said, this topic is so triggering, but so necessary. Yeah. But yeah, man, that's I 100% agree with everything you say, Hope. And I respect it. And I love that you could, you survived it and you could tell your story today, because some people can't. But I know far too many women that have been affected by this. Like, I don't think I know many women. I know way less women that have never been SA than women that have been. Like, I could 2 or 3 women.
Don't know any women that haven't, and without this conversation going on, I honestly would be surprised once we cover every type of it, if there's any that haven't. But because when you bring up the sleeping and not being completely honest, you think of the cheating. If you've cheated on somebody and then you go back and you have spicy time with them and you didn't disclose that you were with somebody else, that's a form of rape. Yeah, my wife put me onto that a long time ago. I remember having that discussion with her. She was saying that cheating should be illegal, and I was like, what? Da, 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 da. And then she laid it out in that way, and I was like, yeah, she's right. You playing with people's health.
It does have a lot of interpersonal negative effects on both partners, right? It can break up families. It can harm self-esteem. It's a bunch of things, right? But what makes you think that should fall under the umbrella specifically?
Because
did you not hear what I said?
Because of what she just said. Because when you have sex with a person, you expose yourself to diseases, and you expose your partner to diseases.
And you're supposed to be being completely honest with that person to gain their consent. So if you've went and you've cheated on them and you go back to your spouse and you sleep with them and you don't disclose that you've been intimate with another person, you've just lied to gain their consent.
Yeah, through omission. You can lie through omission. So
right. Okay, I understand that.
Yeah. That's a thing, man. But Issa, the thing that's interesting to me is your default, and I'm just being honest. Your default is always to try to rationalize why we should be allowing these problematic behaviors. But it's I want you to know that what you're doing is common. You're not rare in this case. It's very common.
It's literally what society has taught us to do. I tried recently, but I couldn't find anywhere where it's been tallied just how many movies have a coercion scene.
Oh, I did a video on that, on talking about, because I hadn't watched it in 20 years. It was Scream, right? Scream was one of my favorite movies growing up. And then I watched Scream and I was like, how weird is this fucking movie? Now, I know Wes Craven was trying to like make a point about that, about grape culture in the movie, right? But he ended up perpetuating the very thing that I think he was trying to address. I think, right? Because he highlighted it. So I'm thinking he tried to address it. But, you know, like Sydney, the what's her name? No, what's her name? I forgot whatever the head character's name. Like, she still ended up having sex with what's his name? Flea, or I forget his name. I forget the guy's name. I forget his real name. Skeet. His name is Skeet. His real name is Skeet, but yeah, whatever. She ended up having, you know, having sex with him or whatever, the unaliver. That's, you know what I mean? Like, so it ended up, you know what I mean? Like, so he lied to her, he manipulated her, he did all of that stuff, and he still slept with her. He still slept with her at the end of the day. So he couldn't, like, if he really wanted to do a service, he should have made her avoid that, right? And then and she ends up unaliving Billy in the end. That would have been dope. But instead, he still had sex with her, and you know what I mean. And the whole time he was, and he was manipulating the hell out of her the whole movie, right? And so he, you know, he ended up pushing that message. But yeah, it is so ingrained in our society for men to manipulate women and coerce women. Like, I don't like Issa, like, you just don't know that it's just like, it's everywhere, man. It's everywhere. It's like racism. It's like it's the same thing. It's the same stuff. It's everywhere you look.
The other thing too is then men don't understand, and it's a part. I guess I'd call it a byproduct of them getting into a relationship by manipulation. Is then they end up unhappy and miserable, but they weren't honest about who they were from the beginning either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
That's a whole other reason why they need to unpack. They're doing this too.
Mm-hmm. Facts. Hey, Hope, I appreciate you coming up. I'm gonna rotate. I got a few people in here. I'm hoping to get a little bit more. We need people that need to hear the message, more ops, things of that nature. So, you know.
All right, man. I appreciate you having me on. And I really appreciate Hope's perspective. I learned a lot from both of you guys. I hope you guys have a great day.
You too, Issa. Thanks, brother. Yeah, man. This is a crazy one. Let's keep liking the live though, man. Let's get up over 200,000 likes real quick. Yeah, let's get you're right. Let's get the sub goals in this thing. Let me cut the sub only on. See if we can get 5 subs in the next 20 minutes. I'll cut the thing back on. Definitely support the live, man. Tap the screen, gift, bang the cash app, $1 a do. Y'all know what it is. We got 400 people over here. We got 283 people on the YouTubes. I appreciate everybody for supporting the live. Is there a StreamYard link for YouTubers? I don't have TikTok. A StreamYard link? Oh, to come up? I can't. I've been really reluctant to let people come up. Like, I'll let, you know, we got some ops over there. I might let them do it every now and again, but even then, I don't even like doing it. I can't do it when I'm on TikTok, because when I let people up, it's on TikTok, it sounds like it's me. So if somebody comes up and they start saying stuff, then, you know, like, I can get my live banned on TikTok first and foremost, and then secondly, it's just too many people for me to worry about. But you know, when I have my TikTok only, YouTube only lives, definitely I'm gonna be having people up. But yeah, that's the thing. That's the long and the short of it. Very, very interesting. I appreciate everybody for sharing their stories in advance, by the way. To all the survivors. I know it's tough to talk about, so we definitely, you know, I appreciate it. Go ahead, Karen.
Thank you for allowing me to come up here and tell you that up until a few minutes ago, I didn't know that a form of cheating is also rape.
What you mean?
Until you mentioned your wife, and you mentioned that what she explained to you. And that is a little story that I want to share with you that happened to me with my second child when I was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that my husband at the time was sharing his intimate life with multiple people. And during the whole time that I was expecting my child, I was sick. I was sick all the time. I had multiple problems because of him. And I say because of him because it started with urinary tract infections that I never had, with multiple infections that I never had, problems that I never had in my life, in my intimate life. And it was brought on to our household by him.
Mm.
And I never realized that that could be a form of abuse in that sense.
Mm.
Until a few minutes ago that Miss Hope and you brought up this subject. And to tell you the truth, I feel great all over again.
Damn.
If
I'm
that
sorry.
makes any sense.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No,
I don't want to be triggering people.
No. You have to understand that you bringing up the subject is making many of us realize the importance of knowing, the importance of being aware of the situations we are put up in by our own life partners, because I never in my life would consider that what he was doing was a form of, until I realized this by listening to you guys, because my child was exposed. I had a high-risk pregnancy and I had to go through a C-section. COVID was brought up to my house because he's had exposure to COVID through some of the people that he was having an issue with, that he was exposing himself with. And this is what I'm trying to explain to you, that when I went to have a C-section with my second child, I was diagnosed right there and then with COVID because he was having intimacy with somebody else that had contracted that. And so this is how dangerous we are put in when we are wives and our husbands step out and do these kind of things. You don't even protect yourself. You don't even protect the other person that you're doing the deed with, but you're also not protecting your family and your children as a whole. You expose all of us in the sense, and you bring about many things that otherwise wouldn't have come to our home but for you. And so if there is a gentleman up there that is listening to your life and is listening to this and is in denial still about the exposure that he puts his woman to, I want you to hear me out. I had to have an emergency C-section because my child was having a lot of issues due to the complications of COVID and the exposure my husband exposed me and my children to during that time. So if you think that your actions have no consequences, you might as well go ahead and start thinking about that.
Are you currently married to him still?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. Because you said your husband, so I didn't know if he was. I was just curious.
No.
Okay.
No.
That's good.
No, his inability to respect our monogamous relationship and our commitment to God was the main reason why I went and filed for divorce. And I know that I'm one of the statistics of baby mamas who have children and all that, and women who will never be remarried again, because that's the song that has been sung to me all the time.
Yeah.
That I'm the one who was left behind, but no, I'm not left behind.
I'm
standing right here, and I can tell you, it's by the grace of God and God alone that I can tell this right now and be able to speak about it, because there was a point in my life when I couldn't even talk about this because I was ashamed. I was ashamed for the things that were done to me.
Like, how could you even fall? How could you fall for it? Type stuff. Yep. That's crazy.
Yes. The whole time I was questioning. I even went as far as questioning my own beliefs and asking my own priest, how can I fail for something like this? Why he didn't act right? What did I do as a woman? What did I do as a woman to deserve that he go ahead and do this and put our lives and my life mainly? Because after he left, I was the only one who was left with my children to fend for my kids. He left completely gone. Like, he's completely gone and out of our children's life. And so that's the reason why I every time that I hear something like this from a woman's perspective, they say that she's victimizing herself. When I'm telling you this story right now, it's not to perpetuate the woman's being the victim. It's to let you know that this happens to cause harm to a lot of people. And if you viewers, you male viewers, do not understand that until now, they need to pay close attention. Look at your sisters, look at your mother, look at your aunties, your cousins, everybody around you. Many of these women have a story to tell, but it needs to have a little bit of empathy for them. And you think that you're the player and you're the big man because you have a lot of females after you. Believe me when I tell you, all you're doing is perpetuating an abuse on those women by playing the game around them and thinking that you're the man just because you're doing that. You're just causing harm. And in the end game, you're gonna end up exactly like my ex is gonna end up eventually, lonely in a nursing home by himself because there won't be no kids in there, there won't be no wife, and all those females that are chasing you around right now will not be there to support you because if you don't change your ways, that's most likely the place where you will end up.
100%. Karen,
thank you for giving me the time.
No problem, Karen. No problem. I appreciate it. MJ, what's going on?
Hi, public.
Hey. Osa said, I'm sorry. Osa said to Karen, she said, "Thank you, Karen, for sharing this story. You're incredibly strong and resilient." Go ahead, MJ.
Thanks for letting me come on up.
No problem.
Just from kind of going off of what Karen was saying, when you, Hope, and what was it, Isla, or whatever his name was?
Issa,
we're talking about making cheating illegal. I also kind of wanted to share my own story about that as well. When I was pregnant with my daughter, my husband ended up cheating on me. The only reason he told me that he cheated on me is because he contracted an STI. And because this particular STI, unfortunately, if it had actually gotten in contact with my child,
oh shit,
it could have unalived her.
Oh shit.
They had special medication for pregnant women because of this specific STI. So thankfully it did come back negative, but they still gave it to me just in case. But just going through all of that and being, it's just very embarrassing, especially,
we gotta get out of that. And I'm not talking, when I say we, I'm not saying you, I'm saying us as a collective. We need to stop stigmatizing STDs. We gotta start talking about them.
That's very,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't buy, you know what I mean? Like, what's the difference between getting an STD, right? And I'm not talking about being like passing it to somebody. I'm saying you contracting it from somebody. What is the difference between you contracting it and you getting the cold? Like, are you embarrassed to tell somebody you got the flu? No. So why, you know what I mean? Like, but we stigmatize everything. Make everything fucking taboo, and then we don't talk about it. And then, that's how the stuff festers and gets worse and worse and worse. So yeah, I definitely want us to be more comfortable, but I'm not saying that to you. I'm saying we need to make people more comfortable as a society. That way people could talk about it.
No, that's very true. And honestly, I wasn't necessarily embarrassed about the fact that he gave that to me. It was more so the way people looked at me, with pity. You know what I mean? Because when I went to go get the medication from the clinic, get tested and everything, just the way that the doctor, I guess, looked at me, it was a male doctor, and I don't know, just the way he looked at me, I just felt so embarrassed,
Shame on him.
Even though it wasn't my fault, I still felt extremely embarrassed that I had to be there in dealing with that, especially in such a vulnerable point, because pregnancy is already hard enough. My entire pregnancy was a really hard time for me, and that kind of was like the cherry on top of everything,
Yep.
So
Not the cherry on top. Oh, I guess because it didn't end badly, so I guess you could call it a cherry on top. But yeah, but the event was you avoided catastrophe nearly.
Yes. Extremely grateful that they at least have something available for pregnant women if something like this happens, especially for that particular STI. It was just the fact that they have to do that is actually insane to me. That they have that in the first place, because that can kind of show you how common it is.
Yeah, it's super common. They always have a way to protect men. That's another way of protecting men if you think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like cleaning up men's problems. Like, oh yeah, well, men gonna cheat, so we might as well on the back end, we might as well do something to make sure the babies don't get fucked up, whatever. Right. So yeah, crazy. And to my wife's point, when she brought it up, that definitely should be illegal. Like that should be illegal. Like what the fuck? That's abuse. How is
that literally could have been, if we're being honest, that could have been murder.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That could have been murder. That's what I'm saying. So how is that not a crime? That's crazy. Wild take. MJ, I appreciate you. I'm sorry that happened to you. But I mean, you're here and the baby's here. I can hear him in the back. Boy or girl?
Little girl.
Little girl. There you go. Little baby made it.
Oh, and just an FYI to everyone, I am not with him anymore.
Oh, I knew.
There are people asking in the comments, so I figured I would answer.
That's what's up. Appreciate you coming up, MJ.
Thank you.
No problem. We almost had 100,000. 100,000, wow, y'all. One more sub. I could cut the sub only chats off. Definitely, let's keep supporting the live though. Keep tapping that screen. Let's get up over 200,000 real quick, man. Let's push this out there. Schleeby? Knox, I appreciate that. Look, we got there. Knox wishes. We did it, Joe. Hey, okay. What up, Vanity?
Hey, oi. I see you're experiencing TikTok's new glitch, which is, let me just shove people into the waiting area, and they don't know they've been requested up. It's happening everywhere, all over the place.
Oh, for real?
Arriving. Yeah, people just are arriving on stage. It's like, I did not request up. I'm not even near my phone.
That's weird.
So, yeah. So expect to get on it. I just wanted to add to the reason why cheating should be illegal and should be considered an active hit on your life. So STIs and things like that is one issue. When the person that you have been messing with decides they're going to come for your significant other, or when the person finds out betrayal actually causes brain damage and is linked to dementia. So when I say somebody is putting a hit out on your life, when they step out like that, I mean, I'm not a Bible girl or everything like that, but there was a reason for the stoning, right? And so I think it does need to be punished like that. And I'll tell the prompt. How crazy is it that you could be a 40-year-old virgin and you are more concerned about being falsely accused of assaulting somebody than worried about the 98% of people around you who are getting assaulted, some of them probably your mother, your sister, your cousin, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But you are worried as a 60-year-old virgin that you are going to be accused of assaulting somebody. Men need to decenter men. Because that is some nasty work right there, where you, as an 80-year-old virgin, is like, oh my goodness, what if? While everybody's being assaulted around you willy-nilly.
But what about me?
And from the community he was coming from?
Yeah, I didn't even speak on that.
Say it because I'm part of that community. So, the community he's coming from? Sir, be serious.
Mm-hmm.
Be ever so serious. Anyways, that's what I came up for.
All right, Vanity. Thanks. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's crazy, man. All that faith and he's still self-centered, right? I don't know how old he was. I think he was young though. 80-year-old version is I ain't gonna call it wicked. I think that's a great job. Oh man, we got Bell Arts. What you yapping about, Bell Arts? Hold on, man. We invite you. We invite you up, Bell Arts. You are invited. I'm gonna we'll mute you for the live though, but you can come up and get unmuted, Bell Arts, if you would like to. Yeah, this is one of those ones, man. It's a tough one. I know it's gonna be tough. I know it's gonna be tough to have this conversation. I know a lot of the men feel uncomfortable with this shit, but it's necessary. It is. It really is necessary because I wish I would have had this. I wish that I was, you know, this is like the time like when I be wishing that social media was popping like this when I was younger because I needed to hear this shit when I was in my 20s. You know what I mean? I really did. I needed to hear this shit when I was in my 20s. For real, for real. Shit, 30s. You know? Here we are now. We having a conversation though. So rape accusations only hurt women. They only hurt women. If you guys could tell me of a time when a woman has accused a man of something and it worked out for her. Tell me, show me the woman that accused a man of rape or SA and she fell up, like, you know what I'm saying? Like she benefited from that. I want to know. Show me that woman. Right, Dragon Rider, it'd have been wicked. I want to know because I know a lot of men will tell you they act like it's an actual, like I said, they act like it's an actual thing. They act like the women, you know, are like making this shit up. The women aren't being, you know, it's not. I'm not seeing it though. I'm not seeing where women benefit from making accusations. Now, let me ask you this: how many men's lives have actually been destroyed by accusations? And I want and before you start naming people, if you can, what I want you to do is I want you to couple that with or juxtapose that with all the men who have actually been accused in overall that you can think of. Ambassador, you said you've heard of plenty of men that lives were destroyed by an accusation? A false one? Doubt it. Highly doubt that. Whether the woman is telling the truth, all right. Whether the woman is telling the truth or not, she is going to be a pariah. Whether the woman is telling the truth or not, she is going to be a pariah. Is this Brim? Who is this Brim person? Did we mute Brim? Because I can't see his comments. Don't mute Brim. I want to see. Let me see. White women lie about black men all the time. Do they? Come on up, Brim. We sent you the invite. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Hey, Brim, come on up, man. I muted you for the live, man. You can come up and get unmuted, though. Go ahead, Ambassador. You said you've seen many times when men were falsely accused and their lives were ruined or impacted. I won't even say ruined, but negatively impacted.
Yeah, it was negatively impacted. It was a lot of so I talk to a lot of men on a regular basis because of a lot of work that I do. And so one gentleman that I actually talked to, I would say it was a couple of weeks ago. He actually, he had his own place. He actually allowed this woman to come into his home. He's actually living in like a condominium type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one incident where they had a bit of a heated situation. The argument, it didn't escalate because he's a very laid back, chill type of person.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess she didn't like the decision that was made in that little bit of dispute. And so, of course, in that moment, he was recognizing that it was about to get a little escalated. So he said, hey, look, I'm going to step aside. I'm about to do my own thing. You do your thing. Let's come back to this thing later. And so he went and laid down in the bed. He was asleep for a few hours. Next thing you know, here's a knock at the door. There's a cop. And the cop is saying, okay, sir, we're going to have to take you in because this woman here is saying that you're abusing her and all this kind of stuff. And so he was like, what you mean? I'm in the bed asleep.
I don't know.
So
I don't know the stats on abuse on DV. I'm pretty sure it's similar to SA, but I don't know the stats on DV. So I wasn't talking about DV. I'm talking about SA or grape specifically. Because DV and grape are different things. I mean, they could fall within the same thing, but I don't know. Even then, I don't believe that even then, I don't believe that he didn't DV her. I don't believe that he didn't abuse her, even then. And you're listening to the man tell the story. There's no way I'm believing the man in that story. Like almost. Like I'm not saying I don't believe any man who tells me that story, but I'm almost not believing any man who tells me that story. But go ahead. So what I want to know is you know of plenty of men that have been accused of SA or grape, and their lives were ruined, and they didn't get convicted, like nothing. Like it came out that they actually didn't do it.
Yeah, he actually he said that the lady ended up responding back to the cops and saying, letting them know, hey, he didn't do anything. But at the end of the day, it was already done. He ended up losing his place.
But it wasn't DV though.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second.
All right. You good. Go ahead, Brim. Say what you want to say, man.
1 second.
Okay, we're gonna go to Brim. Ali said someone on IG used Emmett Till as an example, shaking my head. Yeah. Using Emmett Till in this scenario is wicked work. Go ahead, Brim.
All right. First off, bro, you already know I'm rocking with you, man. Long time no hear from. But I will say, I'm all for hearing both sides, believing more on what women say, because, like you said, it is the reason why she's very vulnerable if she comes out with stories like that, right? Your average woman, because puts them in a negative light, even if what happened to them was negative.
Wait. What are you saying? Say it again.
Saying like when a lot of times women's not even comfortable to bring their stories to the table to be talked about, because it's uneasy. It happens way too often, right? But but we in this society these days where when it comes to sticking to your race in a way, right? Because when people say love is love, I think that's misconstrued in a lot of ways. So when you make anybody feel uncomfortable and you claim you love them, you really don't. So anyway, behaviors of I'll say, like when you opened my mind to a lot of things just when you were saying that the essay is a form of like cheating and not letting the person know, right?
No, we said it should be a criminal act. Yeah, it is cheating, but yeah.
Straight up, like, because it's
you're exposed into diseases that are uncurable, and with this culture nowadays where if you're not married and you just feel like, oh, you know, we're in an open relationship, so we do what we want. That's a difference between somebody who is coming into a situation only wanting to be with that person and letting that be known.
But married women get STIs at an alarming rate from their men. That has nothing to do with marriage. But I'm just trying to understand. So, what do you feel about the topic overall? Do you think that men do you where if can you tell me where men are harmed by allegations from women of grape and SA?
Well, okay. Would you say SA is a form of if you stop, if you expect your woman being unfaithful and then you stop
No.
giving her that type of attention sexually, but you continue to like pay bills or like, you know, to live with that person, but you stop being intimate with them?
No.
No what?
That's not SA.
No, I'm saying, but that inverts to like her being violent in a way, or like putting hands on you just because, like.
What? So you saying you think she cheating?
It can happen both ways. I think that if anybody in their mind or in their actions have cheating ways, right, and then they get frustrated because they can't really expose somebody who's being faithful, but they want to, like, say if they want to get rid of the relationship, so they kind of crash out on it.
No, well, Bram, just if you can, just answer the question. Do you think that when women, you think that men are harmed by allegations from women?
Yeah, because it could be a real thing. Like false accusations could really, if the cops are being called, if a woman could just.
I'm talking about SA specifically. So SA and grape, right? You said yeah, right? You said that yeah. So and how are men harmed by that? How do they get harmed? When does the harm happen?
The harm happens like because you have to if the authorities come and arrest you, and you're like, what? This ain't even happening. And then she's like, but it did happen. And then it's always on her side, mainly because of how many cases are like actually that. And then if it don't get stopped right then and there, then they'll get, they might get unalived, you know what I'm saying? So they usually go for the measure of better safe than sorry type situation.
No, that's not how the police function when it comes to SA. They never err on the side of caution. They never err. They do err on the side of caution, but the side of caution that they're on is yeah, we're not gonna lock up this man for nothing. So let's just not believe this woman. Let's put this rape kit in the room full of 50,000 other rape kits, and it won't ever get tested. Let's not follow up on any of these leads. That's the side of caution that they err on. So no, they don't just say, well, we might as well prosecute them just because. Like, that's not what they be doing.
Okay. Wait, go ahead. I was in a position like that when I was about 24, something like 24, 25.
In a position like what?
Where the cops, my ex, she ended up having to call the cops on me or whatever.
Why do y'all keep talking about DV when I'm talking about grape?
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry, Privilege. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't have to. Okay, so that adjusts it a little bit. But would you say sexual assault, there's so many, or SA, excuse me, there's so many situations that can happen and play out as sexual assault, but like as men sometimes we kind of, it's too late whenever we kind of like, if that happened to us personally, and like, because if we weren't raised in that household where we're used to that, but like over time the woman starts acting like that over like months or years of being with them. See what I mean? And it's kind of like, even if it's supposed to be, if it's a toxic situation, y'all broke up and got back together, but it's like you kind of put up with that behavior until it hits you home in a way when it comes to men.
What behavior?
Like the behavior of like sexual assault in a way. Sexual assault, yeah, because women could weaponize. They no means no, so it don't matter if you're with that woman, you love that woman, and if she's going through, and you expect.
But they don't weaponize it though. But they don't though. They can't. Anything is possible, like Kevin Garnett said, right? Anything is possible, but they don't do it though. Let's talk about what they do. Like I hear, okay, it could happen, but it almost never happens.
A woman who get away with it. I will say that. Like,
say it again. Say it again. Say it again.
There's a caliber of women who get away with that, because if you hear Cardi B talking about, I put stuff in his drink just to like that.
Okay, I'll see your Cardi B and I'll raise you. What's that fat? Rick Ross. Like I'll raise you a Rick Ross when he said he put all in her drink and she ain't even know it.
Right. I'm saying it's not really a gender thing. It's just a piece of shit.
Oh no, it's a gender thing. Yeah, no, it's a gender thing. Because women don't. When you talking about grapes, over 90% of grapes are committed by men. So it is a gender thing. It's not it goes both ways thing. It's not.
I see where you're going. Yeah, and I agree with that. It's it's very rare. Like, unfortunately, it's not really a place where men could say things like that happen, because it's kind of like shunned upon, or it's like, oh, what did you do?
You think? Wait.
Tell the whole story.
You think it's who do you think it's safer for to come out and say that they were SA'd, men or women?
I'm gonna give an example and put myself in here. And I feel like this is a vulnerable thing.
It is, man. Yeah, men are safer to come out and say that they were SA. But go ahead, I'll listen to you, bro.
Wait, say that again.
I asked who has more protections for, if they were to come out and make an allegation, who would be protected more, a man or a woman?
I guess it depends on what world you live in.
I'm talking about in this world, in this day and age, in this country, in this time.
I would think women, but I could,
You think women would be more protected?
Yeah.
Okay.
By the legal system, right?
By the legal system, women getting protected? Crazy. No, I mean, I was just talking about in society, but in general, legal system and public opinion. Black Hammer, what do you think?
No, women are not protected in this society at all. I mean, it's always been like that throughout history. Women have been subjugated. Women have been controlled and treated as property. They never had a choice to marry who they wanted to marry. And usually, even if the man, the average man has more protections, even if a woman comes out of allegations. Like if the weird uncle does something to like one of the younger kids, or the husband does something to one of the younger kids, and he is a great big benefit to the entire family. All the people will have his back because he's benefiting everybody else. So they're like, let's just sacrifice this one kid for the sake of the whole.
I can speak to that. I can speak to that in my family personally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boy, do you want me to keep going or?
No. I'm tell y'all. So.
Gotcha. Even in the church, right? Then there's so many stories about the church pastor touching the girls or the boys, right? Somehow the congregation just leaves them alone. Even in the case when it comes to E. Jean Carroll, like it was just a landslide that man slandered E. Jean Carroll, meaning that E. Jean Carroll, if I'm saying her name correctly, was telling the truth that Donald Trump did assault her, did rape her.
Oh yeah.
Even that other 20 women coming out and attesting to the entire thing.
His wife got on record and said, or his ex-wife in a deposition said that he raped her.
Yeah, exactly. His own wife too. Mm-hmm. So many women coming out against this man, and the fact is that we have video recordings of him in the past talking this way, saying that he just grabs women by the coochie. And there's one to say that in one where he's like, I just came onto her like a bitch or some shit like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
A whole bunch of other stuff. Yeah, for some reason, people still think that Eugene Carroll is lying or did this just for the money.
And
even though she's overly rich.
I thought it was so funny with the whole Trump situation too, how he brought out the woman who accused Bill Clinton of rape back when he was governor of Arkansas. He had the audacity to bring her out on stage. I'm sitting there like, fool, your own wife said you raped her. Like, not to, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit was crazy. And then you had Tara Reid with what's his name? Biden, Tara Reid and Biden. But yeah, so what I was gonna say was I've seen it in my own family. I've seen the people in my own family protect a child rapist, the men and the women. Like, and like I'm the only one that like don't fuck with him no more. And people be looking at me like, oh, you gotta forgive. That's your family. I was like, what? Even to this day, I'm 42 years old. So that, you know what I mean? Like my family members is 60, 70, 80 years old. And they talking about some, oh, well, that's your family, man. You gotta forgive them. And absolutely not. Absolutely not. I low key resent y'all for not putting that man in jail.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering if you're, and it's kind of like when you are that one who speaks up about things and make other people feel awkward about that. Like some people will say, "Oh, you're protecting men," but it's like when you come to, if you're not saying anything about that, then you're also part of the problem. Look at this. Look at the Diddy situation when everything's swept underneath the rug because of somebody's level of influence or whatnot. Those same people who be like, "Well, I didn't stay at an after party." Those people are held accountable. They should be held accountable too, because if you just turn the other cheek because to try to lose out on something, or because you think other people, you don't really see it from firsthand, but you still participate in like before the after parties, like you're part of the problem as well. So I'm not looking at it as like, oh, well, what happened to you? Who hurt you? It's more like you're the person who who usually stands on business when it comes to that. But a lot of the times, if people know that about you, they'll avoid letting you know things because they know you'll blow it overboard. You know, if you feel what I'm saying. You see what I mean? Like a lot of those people will keep you out of those conversations just because they know that you will do something about it, if that makes sense. So it's all if it's being swept underneath the rug or not being talked about when you know something, or you kind of you hear something and it's not being addressed because it's like, oh well, it didn't hit me home yet. I feel like that's the issue with anybody. Look, can you do me a favor? Can you play this? Can you play this scenario out for me?
What scenario?
As far as the women being raped, because I don't hear that story too often. I've only heard the story, I would say once. And I'm not being facetious when I say this. I'm just saying I don't hear these stories like that. You don't hear about women being raped? Yeah, no, I don't. Well, because I think it's probably because I don't watch a lot of news. I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't really. I think you don't talk to women about it. No, I do talk to women. Not about it. You don't talk to women about it. No, I don't talk to women about it. But it's not something that comes up like that, or even offered to become up. But I've had. I think I've had. I'm not even talking about online. I'm talking about real life. I've had, on the top of my head, I could think of right now, maybe 10 women tell me. Like that I could just think of like off the top. Like I remember their stories and everything right now. I can think of 10 women who have told me that. Friends of mine, family members. I won't I will never tell their stories. That's their stories, but 10 women minimum that I could think of right now. But if I really sat down, I got a bad memory too, but I know if I really sat down and thought about it, I got double that probably. But yeah, if you're not hearing those stories, the women, obviously, they either don't feel comfortable telling you those stories because kind of like to what Bryn was saying, they might not feel like you're a safe place. They might feel like you might judge them for it or whatever, right? That may have something to do with it because I guarantee you, if you know 5 women, 4 of them been fucked with. You know what I'm saying? If you know 4 of them got a story. So if none of them have told you the story, whatever. But the thing that I find odd is the men feel so comfortable lying to you. You said you got all these stories about men that, I was falsely accused. What do you mean lying to them? They lying to him. All these men out here lying to him, talking about, man, she was tripping, man. The police. Hey, man, look, man, I went in the room. I just laid down. Look, man, I didn't do nothing to this woman. She just called the police on me. Like, nigga, shut up, bro. You touched that lady. Yeah, for for sure.
Shut the hell up.
Let's go back to what you said about I was just about to say something when it comes to. Oh yeah. So first off, some men who don't have these conversations with these women on regularly, because you're saying about the uncomfortable thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So say if like, have you ever heard stories of like if you've been around a certain woman's family and you kind of be able to pick, like, oh, that dude weird, like he get weird vibes type energy, right? And you mention that, you say that to the woman, and then she like say if there is situations to where that might have happened with her and that particular person, you bringing it out on the table and asking her like to watch to mention that too early without her coming to you. Would you feel like that's a part of? Would you say you're a part of a little bit of the problem?
If she doesn't want to tell you,
like if she doesn't tell you, but you suspect it and ask her about it. Like,
I'm not asking a woman about it. I've never asked a woman like that. That's not something I would never feel comfortable. But
not necessarily ask, but be like, oh, that I saw. Okay, I'm gonna give you an example, right? So, I was dating this girl probably like 5 years ago, and she had like a younger brother. She was probably 10 years older than him. She had a niece. So then, like, I'd see them when like she would be asking if she was probably like 10, and so I was only dating her for like probably a week, 2 weeks.
How old was she?
The niece was 10, and the girl I was dating was probably a year older than me, like 25.
I missed that. I was like, what? Okay, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, her brother was like 18, and then her niece was 10. So then I got nieces myself, so you know, my parents are still together, so. And I got an older sister, an older brother. You know, I got nieces, nephews, and stuff. So if I see something like inappropriate, meaning like a 10-year-old sitting on somebody's lap, and they're damn near a grown man, I'd be like, that's a little weird in a way. Like,
why is that weird? Whose lap is she sitting on?
Like the uncles at a 10-year, and he's 18 and she's 10, and they're like,
why is that weird?
It's weird because like
I used to sleep with my nieces and nephews, like lay in the bed with them and stuff. Like we would take naps together. Like what the fuck? We lived together. They were my.
Right. I mean,
why is that weird?
The 18-year-old dude, she was just a weirdo. Like without that being, it wasn't.
So he was weird. He was weird. That's not weird. He was weird. Okay.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. So then when I mention it and say that to her, like, what's up with your brother? She kind of like retracted. Like it's kind of like it kind of revealed something. Like I don't know. It's very hard to explain. It's more spiritual than it is like
spiritual.
Yeah.
How we get to the spiritual realm?
Just like when you just said, well, so he was weird.
He was weird. Yeah, that's his character. That ain't his spirit.
Right. So then when I mentioned that to her without knowing like the caliber of it, she kind of was like, I'll keep my eye on him. But I'm like, that's your brother. Like you should already, you know what I'm saying?
You mean she didn't know? You felt like
Like she act like she didn't know, but it's like she did know though. It's like how would you not know that? And both of these are your family, and both of them y'all live around each other since before I met y'all. And just because I have like a spirit of discernment in a way, and this is my girlfriend, I'm sharing it with her, and then it kind of backfired. Like it literally backfired because because she started asking me questions like, "Oh, where did kids come from?" I'm like, I've known this girl for just for 2 weeks.
Where do kids come from?
Yeah, her 10-year-old niece was asking me that, and I'm just like,
wait. Why was the 10-year-old niece asking you where do kids come from?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's my point.
Nigga, what's the point?
That's like weirdo shit that be happening in like a fan. Like,
no. But why was she talking to you about that?
That's my point. That's why I brought it up to the girl who I was dating at the time with. That's exactly what I'm saying.
What?
So that's what I mean. When there's like stuff that be happening closed doors that when men get a part of like become, and dating a certain woman, and then you get around their family, and you kind of notice things, and then like
but wait, I'm sorry, Brim, I'm sorry. You talked about the 18-year-old boy, man, whatever, and then but the thing.
So it does.
But wait, hold on. But the thing that sounded weird was the kid was talking to you about where babies come from. That make you look like the weirdo. Like, what? Why was you talking to a 10-year-old girl?
Yeah, I agree.
How the fuck did that conversation happen? Did she just run up to you?
Listen, the reason I'm saying this is because when you mentioned something about, like when I mentioned to her about the weirdo brother, right?
Okay.
And then so this is like a time has to pass, right? So then when I mentioned that to her, like, oh, like your brother I came home and and then I mentioned her, she was like, oh, like, okay, I'll watch. What did
you tell her? What did you tell her?
I said that's a conversation you gotta have with your mom about. Then when her mom came home, me and her sister, because her sister's sister was the one who had the daughter. So when I said I mentioned that, like, yeah, y'all gotta have this conversation with her, because she said that kind of made me uncomfortable. That's what I said to both of them, grown ups.
Wait, so you was babysitting the baby?
No, I wasn't babysitting. It was more like she was at work, and I brought her to work, but like her mom lived there, and so I was cool with the mom type situation. Like they lived together, but I had my own spot, if that makes sense.
I don't understand this at all. How did you get in proximity to this 10-year-old girl, bro? How did you get there? How did that happen? How did this happen? You barely knew.
Because like I worked with my girlfriend at the time when I was dating her, and she lived with her mom, or her sister, her mom, and her brother, and her niece.
Okay.
The dad was divorced. The dad was divorced. Why does this young lady,
girl?
Why does this young lady have
the
nerve or the confidence?
Girl.
See, girl?
Yeah, this is a girl. It's a 10-year-old girl.
Okay, why does this girl have the confidence? Yeah, why does she trust you? Like, what makes her trust you? Like, that's what I think. Just because if you're not on that weirdo type, if you don't operate on that weirdo type frequency, then it's kind of like, it's all about protecting the children. So the children have nobody to talk to about certain things like that. That it's like a kind of a level of reaching out in a way. Like, do you have some type of relationship?
This sounding a little. This not adding up. I ain't gonna hold you, Bram. This not adding up, brother. I'm not understanding. I've been around kids. I've been around kids since I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? My sister had her first child when I was 8 years old. I think 9 years old. I was babysitting my niece when I was 9. I babysat my niece when I was 9.
We on that same type of time. So what I'm saying is, I'm not foreign to being around kids from when they're babies to when they're grown ups. My oldest nephew is about to be 22 this year, and he got 4 other siblings. You see what I'm saying? So,
but why is a 10-year-old girl asking you where babies come from, sir? That's what I'm not understanding.
That's exactly.
It just came out of nowhere. How did the conversation, Brim? Listen to what I'm saying. How did it get? Where did it start to get there? I don't understand that. It don't make sense to me.
Okay. It basically started because she said,
yeah.
She said something to me about asking, like, she never met her father before, right?
Okay.
And then she's like, oh, I don't know who my dad is. And I was like, I never met him before. But keep in mind,
how did that? Wait. How did that come up? How did her dad come up? How did that come up?
I'm not sure. Like,
you was there.
Like, huh?
You were there. How are you not sure how it came up? You were there. What do you mean?
Yeah, because what I'm saying, me noticing the issue about the weird energy from the brother, right? Me mentioning it to the girlfriend after that. Then after I mentioned it to my girlfriend.
Hold on, wait, Ambassador. I know, but let me let him try to find it, maybe, because I'm really trying to understand where we coming from with this one, family.
Like this, if you never had a conversation, like say if she never told nobody, she probably went to therapy or had other people see them, but the fact she never saw who her dad was, and then the fact that she's, I guess, her favorite auntie was in a relationship, and then the girl who I was dating never really had a boyfriend like that to bring around her family. So, like, I guess it was a first time, not only for the girl I was dating, but for that needs to see somebody with her auntie type situation.
So what I'm trying to understand is how did y'all start talking about her estranged father? That's what I want to know. How did that conversation happen? How did we get there?
I don't know. It wasn't a situation like it surprised me.
You can't say you don't know. You were there, brother. You were there.
I'm giving you the thing that's saying like it confused me. That's why I brought it to girls' attention.
It's crazy, bro.
Let me ask you, bro. Hold on 1 second, bro. Let me ask you. So, in what setting were y'all talking about this? Were y'all in the living room talking about this? Were y'all in the bedroom?
And where was everybody else at?
It's in the family room.
And where was everybody else at?
Her mom was upstairs. She was making the slime, and like she basically was like, "Hey, can you pick me up from work?" Because she was having car issues.
Wait. Her mom is upstairs. Her mom is upstairs. Her mom is upstairs.
Yeah.
The child's mom is upstairs. And she asked you, the boyfriend of 2 weeks, to watch her child?
Not to watch. She's 10 years old. Like, I don't gotta watch nothing.
She's 10. You gotta watch a 10-year-old.
I'm saying.
She left you alone with a 10-year-old downstairs after she only knew you for 2 weeks.
Yeah, what I'm saying, but when it made me uncomfortable, and for me to express it to her, like this ain't nothing that you normally do, it kind of made it was kind of like well, why are you like me saying something?
All right, so wait. So the mama go upstairs, you downstairs with the kid, and then what? She just start talking to you?
Yeah, like she mentioned that it was kind of like she like was making slime and all that, and like she wasn't never an issue. Like she never really was acting out or talking crazy. But this specific time, after I had mentioned to her mom about her brother type situation,
bro. Okay, bro. So, okay, I want to make sure I understand this correctly. So you've only been this woman's boyfriend for 2 weeks, okay? So you're in the living room. Keep in mind, like
the title of like this was 5 years ago, and I dated her for like 3 years, but this was the first beginning. Like this was the very beginning. Okay. Yeah. So it wasn't this wasn't, and I worked with her before we started dating.
He said he was making slime. She was making slime.
Yeah.
Slime.
Yeah. Okay, so she was making slime while you're in the room. What were you doing while she was making slime?
Just waiting to go pick her
aunt up. Yeah, because your girl. Okay.
So she's like, I'm making some slime. Hey, by the way, where do the babies come from? Is that what you said? Is that what is it?
Basically, like, I don't know who my dad. I never met my dad before. I'm like, really? Like, it kind of surprised me because, like, I didn't know.
Hey, does this girl have special needs? And I'm not even playing. Does she have special needs? This is like a neurotypical child, to your knowledge.
Nah, I'd say she had like behavior issues. Like later on, my nephews went to school with her, and they would tell me about like how she would act at school, but I didn't know nothing about I didn't really know going in at first, but be after this. But yeah, like behavior issues, meaning like would act out, like
Man. Brim, this don't sound right.
But okay, put it like this, but if a child never met their father and they had no type of like a healthy relationship, and they would see their mom in a relationship with their father, even if they weren't together, say if they if she was never in the child's life, that can have an effect on the brain, right? Like and their behavior, right? Wouldn't you say so?
So you saying the little girl didn't feel comfortable with asking that question to her mother. Instead, she trusted you.
I guess, but I don't even look at it as nothing as trust. I look at it as when I brought the attention back to her mom, like, oh, your daughter's asking me this, and I feel like you need to have this conversation. She well done.
The thing about kids, they gotta trust you first before they even ask you anything.
Yeah, but I'm saying they're saying that she shouldn't even have to ask that. Like her mom should have already already told her, first off, don't ask nobody else that. Like that's not something you just ask anybody. So
for her to not have to ask nobody, you're supposed to tell her, inform her, like, oh, me and your dad's not together. You never met him because he ain't shit. He don't come around, like that type of thing. She, I guess, failed to do that, or I don't know, because again, her bringing that to me, and then me saying like, whoa, that's a conversation you need to have to your mom, and then me going to her mom about it and telling her like, oh yeah, she just said this to me. I think you should sit down and da da da. Like, that's what I mean. So it's kind of like, when this goes right back in full circle to kind of like you were saying about the trusting, like kids, they don't really have nobody to trust because everybody's kind of like pinning them off on like school or whatever, like in a way. So it's kind of like when serious, like I remember back in the day we had health. That was like when you would talk about how to use condoms and the importance of condoms and STD, those kind of things. And I don't know if they still have that in school these days, but it's kind of like,
you don't know if they still teach health in school? They do. They still teach health in school, yeah.
Yeah, I mean like a specific, it's a elective to where they talk about like puberty and stuff like that. That's what that is. Is it called the same thing?
We didn't have it when we were kids, but I don't even remember us talking about puberty, to be honest with you. Oh, my wife said they don't teach. My wife said they don't teach health anymore. Shit, I was wrong.
Damn, see, that's what I mean. I came up. I had health in 8th grade and in 9th grade.
But they teach sex ed. But they teach sex ed.
Yeah. Oh, that's part of it, right?
Sex ed used to be a part of health, but now they just teach sex ed and they got rid of the health part.
Okay, so, but keep in mind, she was probably in middle school or something. Middle school, not middle school, like elementary, going into middle school, maybe. I don't know, because again, this is like 5 years ago. But the importance, all this goes back to this, the importance of knowing when to, like, address something without, like, for example, I'd have been wrong if I, like, told her that's the health or sex ed point of, like, the education behind it, right? Because one, that's not my child. Two, I don't know nothing. Like, that's not my place to do that. So
I'm being honest with you, brother. I'm just not understand the thing you're telling me doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. The conversation. How did y'all get from the dad to where do babies come from? That's weird. That doesn't make sense.
And me bringing it to her after that and saying like, oh, I cut it off right then and there. Like, it surprised me. Like, you don't know me for nothing. You might think that.
What? Also, another thing too, Bram, is the fact that you keep. It's like you hear public will ask you a question and then you just go around the question and give a whole bunch of analogies and you just lose us when you're giving that analogy.
Yeah, you're not answering the question directly at all. Like, I'm so lost. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm actually gonna stop talking about it because I ain't gonna even hold you, bro. I'm getting uncomfortable. This shit just sound weird. Like, I don't even understand. I was trying to give you the chance to explain it, but you just like you're not explaining it. You're not giving me anything. You just being like more vague than ever. You didn't. Brim, I promise. Brim, I swear to God, you didn't tell. I learned less the more you talked. It almost seemed intentional. Like, I got more confused the more you talked. At the beginning, I thought I kind of understood, but that by the end, I was like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like, it was crazy. It's almost genius at this point.
Listen, when you don't have your parents to talk about certain things, like, if you can't get educated by your parents about your personal, like, because I'm pretty sure she probably felt embarrassed to tell her daughter, like, oh, I don't know who you, like, maybe she said, oh, I never met my dad, and then she couldn't explain to her why, or maybe they gave her a sugar-coated reason onto it. But, like, for somebody to come and see, like, they had a good relationship with their auntie, like, her auntie, the girl who I was dating, was more of a mother than her actual mother in the sense of, like, being.
Here's the thing, brother. I'm quite sure your story is valid, and you probably saying it the best way. No, hold on. You probably saying it. I know you're saying that your story. I know you think that your story is making sense, but it's not making any sense. And so what I would suggest is doing is at least writing down your story. I don't know if you have a habit of writing, but write down your story in chronological order so that way you can better be able. Shoot, I can't even talk right. Goodness.
I don't want to write that shit down. Hey man, I don't never want to hear this story again. You can tell it to the wind for all I care. Don't never tell me this story. Do not come on my live trying to tell me this story ever again. I've invested way too much time to get absolutely nowhere. I'm pissed off right now. This shit crazy. I'm like, where the fuck? How did we get here? Nah, nope. We not summing it up. It's over. You did it. We tried. I can't sum it up. You had Brim, you had 19 opportunities to sum this motherfucker up. I gave you a bow so many times to wrap this hoe up and you was like, okay, and then you unwrap the motherfucker, and then now here we are. You got to wrap it all the way back up. Absolutely not.
You can't give me 15 seconds.
Go ahead, wrap it up for me. Go ahead. Now let him go, Ambassador. Let him go. Let him go.
You can't really have other people tell your kids about how you got them here, how their situation, even if it's not the best situation. You gotta be direct with them. You gotta be unapologetic, and that'll let them know, build trust even more with you, so they don't go to strangers to ask questions that they already know the answers to. Because you don't know, there might be some weirdo people out here who will take advantage of that. So that's all I'm saying. It was very awkward, and I didn't understand it either until after I was out of that situation even more. So
I can't believe y'all letting this shit go on like this. This shit crazy, bro. You said 15 seconds. That was a lot. That was more than 15.
There you go, bro. Go
ahead.
I'll go on mute, though.
Yeah, you good? Yeah, you good. Go ahead. What up, Bell Arts?
What's up, man?
Chilling.
Man, why you be muting me and then I come up here and then you kick me?
I didn't kick you.
Nah, man, you be kicking me every time I come up here.
Hey, man, I kick you if they pay the fee. I don't kick you otherwise.
All right, so why you let that lady come up here and say that cheating should be illegal?
We said why.
Do you believe that? You believe
Yes, I believe it.
Oh my God! Don't you think that would do more harm than good?
No.
Nope. Like you gotta think about it. You gotta think about it. Look, cheating is subjective.
No, it's not.
You would have to get.
Hold on. We're not talking about you sexting a girl. We're talking about physically cheating, physically having intercourse with another person. Yes, you should go to jail.
Okay, but how would you prove that though? Because most cheating
through text messages
is insinuated, but you don't know if there was any penetration during those text messages. You just know there's text messages.
Oh my God.
You wouldn't be able to prove that.
You have the dumbest, Bell Arts, I swear to God, you have the dumbest arguments. This is so stupid. Look. The same way you prove, how do you prove rape? It's the same shit. How you prove murder? You prove it the same fucking way, man. Sometimes you'll have physical evidence, sometimes you'll have circumstantial evidence, sometimes you'll have both. That's how you prove it. Next question. Shit ain't that fucking difficult.
Let me give you an example of how that can go wrong, right? So say, like a woman was dealing with a man, right? She didn't know that this man was married, right? So they did some stuff. Then she found out after that he was married. And the wife wanted to, press charges on that man. Then you would be violating the girl's bodily autonomy because you would have to get some DNA or something to prove that. So you would be putting innocent people in these legal cases.
The fuck are you talking about?
Because this person would be innocent, but you would have to prove that they cheated. So you would have to get some DNA or something to prove that.
You can just ask them, hey, can we swab you?
You're putting pressure on an innocent person to.
Sir, do you know how cases go? You can make that dumbass analogy with any case. An innocent person. Yeah, a witness is an innocent person. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, but a witness, they're not being forced to be involved in this case. They can come forward if they want. But you would be basically forcing that person. And then you gotta think about.
Yeah. Fem said, drop his rapist ass for trying to troll victim.
See, I wasn't even sounding like that. That shit was weird.
Brim, stop, Brim. calm down. I wouldn't, if I was you. She was. Shout out to Fan, man. Tantra said, I smell virtue signaling pedo. I said what I said. They were talking about Brim, virtue signaling pedo. Mello, what's up, man? What you bro, I could tell when you saying some problematic shit in the comments. Even if I can't even read 90% of your comments, I know you saying some problematic shit. What do you have to add to the situation?
Hey, Bob, how you doing? Hold on. What the fuck they said? What the fuck that mean?
She said, I'll read it again. She said, I smell virtue signaling P3DO.
What the fuck is virtue signaling? What does that mean?
Virtue signaling, because you were like trying to be like the boyfriend was or the brother was a weirdo.
Also, they're basically saying I'm projecting, huh?
Yeah.
See that's the and for a woman to say that, this is the thing. For women to even try to say that virtual signaling in the fucking TikTok language, those be the ones who they people can't even go and talk to, who they let a child go and get fucked. But
Brent, why is that so? Why? Wait. Why is that so triggering? Why is that triggering you? Does it apply to you?
Again, it goes right back to what I said before. Like,
no, but does that? But Brent, does it apply to you?
That's why I asked what virtual signaling means.
I know we already answered the question. I'm saying, but does it apply to you? Is that what you're doing?
I'm not familiar with that is. That's my first time.
You just said it like it's like it'd be like projecting. They put.
Well, not at all. But see again.
They got 35 on Brent. You don't think so?
I don't think so. What? That's virtual, but I'm projecting, not at all.
No, so you don't think you're projecting? So you don't think you're virtue signaling? Yeah, they don't even want to hear Mello.
Maybe I'm opening the door for hard conversations type shit because a lot of people ain't.
What hard conversation?
Like hard conversations for when people probably went through that as a kid or something, and they didn't have no time to explain that or had nobody to go to and say that shit. That's a whole nother topic, bro. So that don't got nothing to do with projecting or opening the lane. I'm giving an example of like how that could make an adult uncomfortable for a child to try to like give them help in a way. Like how the fuck.
Why are we back on talking about this? You already did. You couldn't land the plane before. I don't want to circle back and talk about it again. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's wild. But again, that's a whole nother topic. And for people, that's the uncomfortable topic that a lot of people probably will steer from because they either participate in that type of behavior or they
That's when I start thinking you projecting. Because you're telling the way you were telling the story had a lot of holes in it. Now, you can't blame people for drawing conclusions from that maybe you weren't being forthcoming, right? Because a lot of what you were saying didn't make much sense to me and most people in here. That's why Ambassador was asking you, I was asking, right? So just being honest. And now you're trying to tell us that, well, that's probably because y'all do that too, is a wild ass.
I didn't say y'all.
No, I know. You're just saying to anybody that applies to. That's what I'm saying. And it applies to a lot of us, me included. And a lot of us felt the same way. And it ain't because we do that shit. It's because you just was sounding weird.
I can tell y'all were concerned trying to get down to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is there's no getting down to the bottom of it. I was just the person to like bring it to light. That's my point.
There's no getting down to the bottom of why a 10-year-old girl was asking you where do babies come from. I think we could have got to the bottom of that.
How many people she could have asked that to? But my point in bringing it to her mother about it and say like, because for anybody who wasn't trying to be on the side of a kid trying to get them to help, they would basically either answer that or not even mention it to their mother. Me doing that.
I'm sorry, man. Somebody in the comments said somebody in the comments said you at the bottom of it. That's Hey man, why the fuck do y'all be doing this shit, man? I be trying to be serious. And them niggas, the comments is crazy. The comments really don't give a fuck. God damn, dude. Why would y'all do that?
I mean, hey, check this out, bro. You got kids of your own, right?
Yeah.
I see them. You'll do it. You'll murk somebody about that, right?
Yeah.
No question. You won't even take it to no. It won't even be like, oh, like let me try to give him the benefit down and call the police. You gonna put it?
Oh no, I'm calling them. No. I'm calling the police. Yeah, I'm definitely. Yeah, I'd rather niggas go to jail, to be honest with you.
See, that's what I mean. I guess you're a better man than I am, more mature and like shit like that. But what I'm saying is, I don't even have no kids of my own, and for the little jokes to be like, oh, like, haha, you're probably at the bottom of it. That shit is weird for even people.
I mean, you can try to keep flipping that on everybody else, bro. But I'm telling you, as your friend, man, you looking like the problem. That's all I'm saying. It ain't us that's interpreting what you're saying. You brought up this story. You got to remember, I didn't ask you about this. Nobody asked you about this. You brought up this entire story, right? And from the beginning, I was foggy. I didn't know what the fuck what we were talking about. And now that we have gotten this far into it, I still don't know what the fuck the point of the story was. But it sounds like you wanted to. It sounded like you was giving us a confession without giving us a confession. That's what it sounded like. Now you can say that's not what it was, and and I'll take you at your word. But to act like everybody else got it wrong is kind of disingenuous. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that.
Asking the question to somebody who that ain't happened to, but trying to expose on why it happens.
Brim, if your daughter, how would you feel if your 10-year-old daughter asked a random nigga in her? I don't care, nigga that she knew for 2 weeks, where did babies come from? I don't even care if that nigga didn't even he didn't do whatever the fuck. How you gonna feel about that nigga?
I'm feel very uncomfortable.
Brother. Like everybody getting questioned. Like that's all I know. I'm grilling the fuck out of everybody. Like separate rooms. Why the fuck? Like why, mom? Where the fuck was you? Okay, baby, you was okay. And what happened? Okay, tell me the story. Okay. Ambassador, now why did y'all get in? How did y'all get here in this conversation? And if them stories don't add up 100%, bro, believe you me, they paid the rest. Believe you me, the police is getting involved. The authorities are getting involved. That's all I want you to know. The authorities are getting involved. Cecilia said, was he trying to say he was noticing signs of abuse and the family wasn't taking what he was noticing seriously? I think that's where it started, Cecilia. I think that's where it started. Like I heard him when he was talking about the brother. That's where I think it started, but where it went to, yeah, that's when it took a turn. It took a turn for the worse. That's all I'm saying, Brim. No shade, no tea. Saul said, I got a new saying for you, pub. Not only did men slide down the pink wall, they dragged pianos across the desert with leather vests on because their woman left for an hour. Shout out to Jodeci. Them niggas was in the, hey man, Jodeci was in the desert with leather vests and pants on and black combat boots. And I will never forget them niggas for that.
You talking about me?
No, not you. We talking about Jodeci. Yeah, man. That was wild. What Cardi B say? That was strange. What a wild ride, huh? What a wild ride, eh? Just fucking magic school bus ride type shit. God damn. How the fuck? Where do we go? Where do we get dropped off? I'm lost. I don't know where the fuck we at in this moment, to be honest with you. This is when you pivot back to the damn prompt. What up, BBG?
The magic school bus got gates on it and it's on its way to Rikers.
I hope so. I hope so.
I've never seen so many people line up to implicate themselves. That is the craziest thing.
Is it me? I'm starting to think I'm the drama at this point. Cause what?
No.
Why?
No. It's in New York City. You know, sexually based crimes are considered as like it's insane. And to me, the part that will always stick out to me for particularly people, but obviously in this case men, who display these very weirdo characteristics is that they say these things because they don't live in a normal mind. They say these things out loud and they think for the rest of us it sounds normal. And it doesn't. Nothing about it sounds normal.
Talking to a 10-year-old girl about
What?
anything related to Smecks and you barely know her sounds crazy. I don't now. Kids say the darndest things. Right? We know that. Kids say the darndest things. All I'm saying is, I've never been in that situation. I've been around more kids than most. That's all I'm going to say. I've never had that conversation. That's crazy. To me, that's a little wild.
You're around when you have kids are your circle.
Yeah.
Because usually when you have kids, that's when either your friends also start having kids or you just frequent places where there are kids because of birthday parties and school and all kinds of junk. So you end up being around kids. So you end up being around a whole bunch of different personalities of kids. You got the kid who talk too much, who want to tell you everything that's going in their house. Oh, is that your son? I like him. His shirt's sweet. How long you and your wife been together? That's your wife? That's not your wife. Like irritating kids, you know what I mean? Kids who I've been around. I was around a little girl once.
Damn,
and I was
Mello.
so disturbed. Let me preface that. I was so disturbed because I had took her and a group of my daughter's friends to the museum when they were they were in that same age range between 10 and 11. And she kept trying to hold my husband's hand. And my husband was like, this is so weird and uncomfortable. And he was like, should we say something to her mom? Like, maybe you should have a conversation with her mom because she's being way too,
affectionate,
touchy-feely with me. And that concerns me. And that's you know what I mean? That's a normal parent's reaction to be like, okay, no, this is not right. And he explained to her, we both, explained to her at the museum, like, don't do that. That's inappropriate. And you could, we're safe, but you don't want to do that because you don't know if everybody else is safe. So let's all keep our hands to ourselves. We don't need to hold hands with anybody. We don't need to, lay on anybody or anything like that. Like you explain to the child that that's inappropriate and that's not the thing that you do. Then you address the parent.
I would have told that little girl, I got cooties and all old dudes got cooties.
Whatever you gotta do. My great grandma used to tell us all the time that men eat worms.
For real. I'd have been like, ew, I got cooties, don't touch me.
And the older I get, the more she right. The older I get, the more she is right about them old men giving you worms. Like they really do have worms. There's no doubt about it. And I think that this live proved it. First of all, and I've been waiting for so long, child. I feel like I've been waiting on the radio request line because that first set of dudes,
they was all weird.
Oh my! Like
all of them.
Felt like when they did the interrogations with Kane and what's her name? And,
you done fucked up, right?
And Menace to Society. Like,
my nigga Bill, shout out Bill Duke, man. Rest in peace. I fuck with Bill Duke. That nigga solid.
Or better yet, it was like when they was interviewing Cam and Paid in Full. In the end,
nigga was just.
I give you, I give you some niggas out of Brooklyn or something, but I ain't giving you nobody in Harlem. I ain't giving you nobody in Harlem. You can take, I snitch on some other nigga. But it was all like, you don't hear yourself in the room. You don't hear yourself behind the little wall.
You know what's always wild about this conversation? The men start off with, I'm ridiculous. Always. Is that not always the reaction? Public is ridiculous. And then 2 seconds later, oh no, every man does it. Nigga, how am I ridiculous?
Never trying to trick nobody. It's a part of the game. You lie a little bit. You coerce a little bit, and then she give it up, and then you leave.
And then,
you gotta make sure you sweep up the evidence before you
and then y'all get married. I'm like, nigga, do you think that justifies? These niggas is really on some the ends justify the means type shit. like, and then so what if she end up being your girlfriend? Then what?
Yes, yeah, you're still a rapist, sir.
You still coerced that woman. I don't give a fuck what happened.
See how that works? See how now you and the crazy.
If you groom a child, did you still if you groom a child and later on you know what I'm saying, you marry her, did you still not groom and rape that child? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck that got to do with anything? I don't care what. Who cares? Who cares what ends up happening? What happened was this. You groomed and did what you did to this girl. Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
My daddy used to say this thing about questions that really just don't need answers because it's just not worth it. And one of the ones that anytime we would ask him a question that annoyed him, he was like, if my aunt had a penis, would that make her my uncle? Like, and it's like, who cares to get to the bottom of it?
Nah, it's a confusing one. It's a niggathetical. It's made to throw you off. Shout out to Vanity. Hey, Mello, look, on some real for real shit. They paid the fee to drop you. I want you to come back up because the questions you're asking are so weird. I wanted to get to them. I knew you were saying some weird shit. Mello asks, public, was it a conversation or did she ask him a question? Nigga.
Exhibit A.
Hey, man.
Who ask questions that make you go, should I call the cops? Or, you know what? I have a friend that's a cop and I'm going to call them.
Man, come on, y'all. What are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? What is going on? Huh? Was it a conversation or a question? Nigga, it don't matter. How about that? How about she was 10?
I think the only thing you need to do in your lives at this point, if you're going to have this prompt, I think what you need to do is, as you hear the boys talk, just slowly write down on a piece of paper numbers and just start put a little chain around them and just pass them out. And just go, you know what? Here, you hold this.
And I want stand right on this X when you get done, because look straight.
Right here.
And look straight.
Straight forward. And I want you to say this line.
Say, if you don't yell, I won't hurt you. Just say that.
Say, did I really coerce her? Like, just say that. Just say that in that glass right there. No, that's just a mirror. Just look in that mirror and say that. And then I want you to turn to your left and turn to your right. And that's the only thing that we need to be doing with these lives. Because there's no way, like, this is just for real. Court cases aren't solved this quickly.
I'm not understanding. You know what? Let me shut up because I want him to tell us. So I ain't gonna, don't tell nobody. But Tandra said, if that little girl ran up and said, you look funny and skipped off, I believe that over a dude's bullshit lie. That's facts. Like, it's certain things you're gonna tell me about little kids, especially little girls. Like, look, yesterday, me and my baby, we had a conversation with a old friend. I ran into an old friend at the store. Me and my baby was sitting there and we was talking to him. And my baby was talking about my baby. He's smart. He's a smart dude. You know what I'm saying? He's a perceptive guy. Sure of himself kind of kid. You know what I mean? Good kid all around. Having a conversation and he's like talking about little kid stuff. You know what I mean? He can articulate himself fairly well and he got a thought process and all of that stuff. And you can just hear it, and I'm listening to the conversation. Listening, and then I got to put that up against what my man was saying. That girl said, my nigga, that shit just like, what? Them conversations don't even make sense unless you are guiding them in that direction. Then I don't know how that conversation would even come up. Like, why would she be like, I have never met my daddy? Weird. And then that would go to, well, you said something though. See, hold on, clock it. Because you didn't stop the conversation when she said how I never met my daddy. That should have been the end of the conversation. Look, so sorry, Asia just said something funny. She said he was trying to show her. Y'all diabolical, I'm telling you. So I'm saying, once the little girl said, I've never met my daddy, that would have been the end of the conversation for me. Like, I would have been like, oh, that's crazy. Your mom's upstairs. Like, get the fuck out of my face. Cause what? I'm not talking to you about that. But obviously it didn't end there. But he was trying to make it seem like it did end, like, oh, you know, I just told the mom, yada, yada, yada. No, you didn't. You kept talking to her. So it went from that to how her baby's made, which means there was a whole conversation in between that and that.
It's a lot that was.
So how did we get there? Point A, point C, where is the B at, my nigga? That's what I was trying to get to. And he never told us that. He just acted like she just randomly offered up 2 random fucking questions. Like, no, bro. Even for a 10-year-old girl, a 10-year-old girl is like a 15-year-old boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, they are not fucking, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. They don't talk like that.
Yeah, with her, you gotta direct the conversation, and that takes an adult to do that.
That's what I'm saying. She wouldn't have led him to that point. He would have led her to that point. He would have led her to that point.
But help me understand this, when you said, maybe I'm not bridging the gap just yet, but when you said, she said, I never met my father. Is that what you said, right?
That's what he said, she said. I never met my father.
Why would he stop at that?
That's what I said. Why wouldn't that be the end of the conversation? Because that's weird enough.
Why would he stop there?
Why would he stop there?
Because it's already inappropriate.
That's an inappropriate conversation.
I don't mean to interrupt.
Go ahead, so I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. No, I didn't want to interrupt.
Because that's crazy. I'm sorry, that's crazy. You don't.
I'm trying to figure out what happened before. I'm trying to see.
I don't even care. Look.
It doesn't matter.
It don't matter. In a vacuum,
it doesn't matter.
You don't know this little girl. She ain't your cousin. You don't know her. You don't know her. I've never met my look, you know what? Fuck it. I've never met my dad. Oh wow, that's crazy. What's your favorite video game?
Right.
I never met my dad. Oh, for real? You like pink? I like pink. Like, nigga, what the fuck? I'm not, that conversation is not happening with me. Even if I know you, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to have that conversation with you, but let alone a strange, nah, bro. I'm not having that conversation.
I just wanted to jump in.
Go ahead, so.
Okay, so I wanted to jump in because I have 3 things that I wanted to discuss.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I started listening to you earlier, and I have 2 sons.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had the conversation with them, and it wasn't until it was never the coercion conversation. It was like, oh, like no means no. So like I jumped off and like because I have a 14-year-old, and I was like, you do understand no means no, and he was like, because we had that conversation. He was like, yeah, but like, do you understand like if you're hugging a girl and she's like, no, like I'm kind of uncomfortable. Like, I need you to be like, oh, okay, I need to set that. So, like, that was based off of the conversation that you had, and we talked about coercion and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, the second thing was, it's just a quick little story. And you said something earlier, I can't remember what the subject was about, but I remember I was 14 years old. I've always, people have always seen me as older. Mm-hmm. Whether it be body-wise or mind-wise. Like, I always had, like, a little wisdom. So they were like, oh, like, she seems older. So I had a friend who was in
Don't let them men tell you that. They were the men telling you that, didn't they?
Absolutely. Because we were talking about Black women and us thinking that certain things are okay and they're not okay.
That's definitely... So, hey, the homegirl showed us her daughter today. I thought her daughter was in junior high school. Like, I don't be knowing what the fuck. She was like... She's a senior in high school. That girl looked like a baby. Like, I don't fucking, like, little girls look like girls to me. I don't know what.
So I had a friend who was in a domestic violence. I was 14, and she was 21, married to like I think he was like 39. And they were in a domestic violence situation, and she had 2 kids. Mm-hmm. And grew up in the projects in Birmingham, Alabama, and me and her became friends. And so, like, when she left this man, she met another man, and I was like, oh my God, like,
he really likes her. She's out of this domestic situation. Like, this is so cool. And so we went to a park one day, and her and her children were walking around the park. And I'm so happy about that. My friend is like in a new situation. He's not hitting her or beating her. We're sitting on the side. I'm 14. I'm 14 years old. And he says, you know what? I really don't like her. I like you.
How old is this man?
He was like 25.
Oh my God.
And I was 14.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I don't think that this is a conversation. Like, this is I tell people all the time, I thank God that the wisdom that he instilled in me, whether you believe in God or not.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't think this is a conversation that I should have with you. Because I'm 14. You're 25. And he got up and he went over to her and walked around the park. I didn't tell her until like 6 months later, because I thought that if I told her, she would not believe me.
She probably wouldn't have.
But when I told her, I was surprised. She was like, because they were still dating, and I didn't want to.
Wait, how old was she?
She was like 24, maybe.
You was kicking it with a 24-year-old woman?
We stayed in the projects.
I know project shit. You right. You know what? You right. So let me stop acting brand new. My fault. You got it.
Yeah, we were in the hood.
Nah, you got it. You didn't say less. My bad. I'm thinking, hey, I'm thinking with my elitist. I'm elitist now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. Nah, you right. No, you right. No. You right. I got you.
Because I used to babysit her kids.
Yeah.
Remember, she was a woman that was she was married and getting beat by her husband. And so, like, everybody in the hood kind of rallied around her because he used to beat her outside in the streets. And so I was like, I'll take care of the kids. Like, I'll watch the children. And so we kind of developed a bond. And then when that man, I was just like, bro, like, I'm 14. Like, what you talking about?
Dude, when you said that right now, I'm sorry. I just had a flashback. People were saying that's still weird. I kicked it with, when I was a teenager, I used to play video games with 30-year-old men. Like it was nothing. Like, we would kick it. We used to kick it at the homegirl Maisha house. Maisha was 20. I was in my teens. I used to babysat her kids before too. I was 14, 15. She was 20 something. She had her own apartment. So she was 20 something. She had 2 kids. I knew her baby daddy. He ended up going to jail. And it was, when I tell you, like, it was never no inappropriateness. Like, she never flirted. No, we was just cool. We kicked it.
Instance with being in that situation where somebody was like doing something at 14, I was like, bro, like, no, like, I'm 14, you're like 25, like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
And so, but I didn't tell anyone. And so, like, that's the thing, like, you were talking about that earlier, like, we're conditioned because you felt like no one's gonna believe you.
Yeah. Shit, I had that shit happen with a homegirl in her 20s. We told her boyfriend was cheating on her, and she believed that nigga over us. Shit was crazy. But hey, it is what it is. Okay. Whew. All right, man. It's been a lot. We hey, Brim, they paid 50 to drop you, bro. You got to pay the Husky to come up. Mello, pay the Husky to come up, man, if you want to. I did want to hear these questions because y'all saying some weird shit. I couldn't believe that y'all was letting them dudes rock out that long. Moni, what's good?
I am so sorry. When I tell you, I requested, but then I was listening to the Mello and Brim, and when I tell you I fell asleep, I was like, I don't know what the hell this man is saying, and it made me go to sleep. Like,
I'm sorry about that. We was all lost. Everybody got lost.
He was over there like, yeah, when, domestic.
You was everybody. Hey, if you on a bus ride, if you ever been like in a car just as a passenger and the niggas on the side, you just fall asleep. You just in the back on the ride. You just on a long journey. That's what happened. We went on a long journey and you knocked out. That's fair. I respect it.
Yes, I woke up, I was like, dang, they still going. But no, I was gonna talk about exactly what people was talking about, like when people be trying to act like when women accuse men of rape, like they just making it up or something. Like that's just very rare to me.
Never seen it.
I know like a lot of women who's been through that.
Mm-hmm. I've never seen it. I don't
understand how they don't sympathize.
I've seen mothers do it for like young girls. I've seen the mothers do it before. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen that before. Like I said with Brian Banks, I've seen that before.
Trust me, I have too. Like when I got molested by somebody that was married into my family.
God damn.
No one like believed me. And I remember like when I was older, it was like something happened because it happened to my little sister too. And I told, because I just got tired. Like I was hiding in our house. So when I told, and everybody was like, even his mom was like, why would he do that? He get girls. Like it was just weird.
Problematic response of the century. Problematic response of the century. Why would he do that? He get girls. What?
And I want to add to that.
Hold on. Let her finish. She wasn't finished. I'm sorry. So go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, but yeah. So when my little sister, I guess my little sister was over there talking to my granny because you know she's still traumatized by it. And I mean, I like wrote letters to my uncle because it's his stepson. So I wrote letters to him telling him like he's wrong and stuff like that for how he handled it. But I guess my little sister was over there talking about it, and it was like, Monty got over it, so why can't you? And I had to tell my granny, I was like, you don't know what I got over, so don't you be using my name in like in something that you ain't even asked me. And that's when she told me, she was like, I was trying to build a relationship with my son at the time, but the same thing happened to me, and nobody believed me.
And that's so she just let it happen.
Here's the thing.
Damn, Monty, that's crazy.
Can I say something real quick?
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead. Let Ambassador go, and then go ahead. So,
okay.
Sorry. Damn.
You can go. So I go after you.
Okay.
So when I was in high school, I got.
You got essayed. You got essayed.
I got essayed by my track coach.
Oh my God.
And so my mom was born in 1945. And so when he essayed me, I went home and I said, hey, like something happened to me. And I know the generation. I know like how that is or whatever. And she basically just called him and was like, you know what? You shouldn't have did that to my daughter. I'm not gonna call the police on you, but just like she's not coming back to track practice. Like that was it, and I was like this is all. Like this is like all you.
Did your mom ever like address that and like apologize for not doing more?
No, she has selective memory.
Boomer moms. Actually, is she a boomer? Or is she a silent? No, she a boomer, yeah.
No, she's 1940.
1940, yeah. She's the silent generation or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, because she had me when she was like 32.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's still in the silent.
Damn.
Yeah, so and like even when I bring
the worst.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all think hey, hold on. Y'all think boomers are bad. Hey, we all was raised by boomer parents. We was all raised by boomer parents. Well, you wasn't, but I'm saying a lot of us was raised by boomer parents. I'm gonna tell you something. I felt bad for the boomers when I started. I was like, these niggas.
She was like, well, I did the best. I was like, but like he touched me and it wasn't appropriate. And she called them and was like, oh, well, you shouldn't have did it. I'm not gonna call the police on you. But I'm sitting over there as a teenager, like, you should call the police on him because he touched me inappropriately. And she was like, well, and I was like, oh,
damn.
I'm sorry you get to experience that. So
yeah.
Woo! This is a lot, man.
I know it's yeah.
There's a lot. I ain't gonna even lie.
I'm shocked that like guys try to get up on here and try to act like they don't coerce people, and that's one thing that kind of I always side eye because when I tell you like even as a young kid, like I always remember men trying to like be sneaky, like in some type of weird form in my life. Like they were never like just genuine. Like even if it was guys, like I remember it was an older guy that lived across the street from us, and like we would just say hi to him and go in the house because his brothers used to play with my one brother, and my granny never used to let him over the house because he was too old to be playing with my brother. But one time he came over there and they were playing games, and I used to watch my brother play the game. And when my brother left out the room, he tried to coerce me to like kiss him.
Mm-hmm.
And I just realized, like, I thought it was normal, but a lot of men do that. Like a lot of, whether it's older men or whatever the case may be, a lot of them do that.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a beginning of the escalation though. So they start there and then they build up. Go ahead, Ambassador.
Yeah, and that's why it's like, I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to interrupt them, but I was just gonna say they need to pay attention to, their male friends and stuff like that. I know they'd be like, oh, they would never do that, or they told me she was lying and all this other stuff. Like, I'm not trying to sit up here and say, oh, just automatically deny your friend's character, but always believe the woman. Like, men lie about the most randomest things when it comes to stuff like that, and you think they're gonna tell the truth about them doing something like that? Like, come on now.
Mello says, so there's no little kids that are raised up and in bad environments, exposed to too much. Damn, man. I really want to hear.
Hit him on that. I didn't mean to jump in.
No, you good. I really want to hear Mello, bro. I ain't gonna even lie. I wanted to hear because I know he's about to say some crazy shit. I'm just reading these comments.
He's trying to justify inappropriate interactions by stating it's because the kids were already exposed, so they put those men in those situations, and the men can only react like that. I mean, it's not their fault. They're being pushed by these children. Like, I will say, the only time I've ever had kids ask me randomly, like random kids, where do babies come from? And I mean, like, if we're at the playground in the neighborhood, is if somebody's pregnant? Right. Or if there's a brand new baby there, then they'll be like, oh, where do babies come from? Well, how did it get there? Like, they'll ask us stuff. Like, because usually your response to someone else's kids is, oh, it comes from two parents. Right. And then they're like, oh, and go ask your mom if you want more detail. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, how does the baby get there? And then you have to sit there and be like, okay, I'm going to talk to your mom. And we're going to have your mom talk to you about this because it's on my place. Yeah. But no, most dudes, when they sit there and say, oh, women lie about SA all the time, because they say that. They always love to say, women lie about SA, they falsely accuse. It's like, no, because you all think it's not great if you put a woman in a dangerous situation and then say, oh, if you don't do this, then this. Well, see, but she still agreed. That's great.
Well, they don't even give the ultimatum, though. And they don't even it doesn't even have to be like they.
No, but it's like you keep pestering somebody.
Yeah, you just constantly asking somebody. Yeah, same shit.
And it's like with my son, because he's, I have a 6-year-old. He's a boy. And when he started kindergarten last year, like, we were like, okay, he's going to be in a new environment from his pre-K. And we're like, okay, you do not touch anybody and no one touches you. You do. If someone says they don't want to hold your hand, you don't keep asking to hold their hand because that is disrespectful and that is violating their boundary. I was like, just like we gave you your bubble and your hula hoop, which is like, the space around you that no one's supposed to come in unless you allow them in, like a peer, then you don't do that to somebody else. If someone says no, it's no. You don't keep asking. And a no is a full sentence. I was like, it's just like if, grandparents come over and say, oh, give me a hug, give me a kiss. And you're like, I don't want to. They know mommy and daddy hold your hard boundary. And he said no. Right. No is a full sentence. You don't ask again. Mm-hmm. Because it's up to him to make that determination if he wants to hug you. So many dudes think that that's not okay. That, oh, well, you should just, what's so wrong with, we're already together. Why you gotta say no?
Yeah.
Well, it's about being uncomfortable. I told my son that, like, if you are in a situation where you are with a girl and she is uncomfortable, you back off of that.
Trini said, when men get SA, some say, I wish it was me. Why? Because niggas is horny and diabolical. And and some niggas dreams is to get SA by an older woman because we are groomed to think that shit is okay. Go ahead, Ambassador, and then I want Superstar to go.
Okay, appreciate you.
You good?
I just want to say, women, I apologize for y'all experiencing what y'all experienced. I didn't realize it was that heavy, but as y'all are talking, a lot of stories are coming back to me as far as certain situations that were expressed to me through other people, and I even had my dad recently. Last year. It was last year recently. He asked me. He said, "Hey, did so and so, do anything to you when you were younger?" I said, "What you mean?" I said, "No, I mean, now that I know, the only thing he would do is just, mess with our leg or whatever, kind of, pinch our leg or whatever." But even then, at that time, I wasn't thinking nothing of it. I thought he was just playing or whatever case may be. But
who is this? Who is this person you talking about?
I don't want to say it because he passed away.
Fuck that nigga if he passed. I'm sorry. More than any reason to tell us.
What is him being unalive?
Yeah, what the hell? Tell us who he is. Who is he? Who is this man?
He was my uncle on another side of the family.
Okay, so your uncle was touching on little boys?
I don't know what he was. I just know I'm answering to what I'm answering the question that my dad was asking me. He was asking me, did I do something? And I'm sorry, did he do something to me? And I said, no, not that I know of, but he would just, pinch our leg. That's about the only thing I said to him. But as far as, when after he done told me, I kind of figured that there's a past. Now, they haven't shared the details with me about it, but I can kind of get the gist of what's going on. I don't like to hear that type of stuff. I like to, because at the same time.
You don't like to hear what type of stuff, Ambassador?
He was touching little girls and little boys.
Well, yeah, I don't like to really hear stories like that, but I can't avoid it now because.
Hold on, but wait, and that's.
Why don't you like to hear?
Yeah, but wait, but hold on, time out.
For you to confront that.
Time out. That would also. Remember, you said women don't talk to you about that. There you go, right there, nigga. You don't want to hear it. You're not a safe space. Because if you listen, I'm telling you, bro. If you listen, Ambassador, I promise you. I promise you. You can start with your mama and ask her, and she'll tell you. You ain't got to go far. Ask your mama.
Okay. I'm glad you said that. Now that I think about it, my mom was too. Yeah, she did experience that.
How you ain't start with your mama? Like, that's the one I remember first.
I literally forgot about that because she's healed from that situation. We don't really talk about it.
No, she's not. She's not healed, dude.
How you ain't talking about that?
It's not healed. We don't heal from that.
How you not talking about that? What do y'all talk about? You don't talk about that.
No, we talk about the future. We don't linger on the past. Now, at one point she did.
A woman never forgets.
That's crazy, bro.
No, I'm not saying she forgot. I just said she forgave the situation. She left it alone.
Who she forgive?
We forgive.
Why she forgiving people for that? Who you forgiving for that?
She's not. Here's the thing. She's a psychologist, so she's
man. Ain't enough psychology in the world. I ain't forgiving. I want to let you know. I want to let you know something right now to anybody listening. It's up and it's stuck for life. Once we enemies. What Cardi say? We enemies forever. Forever. Ain't no forgiving. Ain't no forgetting. Fuck that nigga for life. For life. I don't care about nothing. I don't know what y'all talking about. Forgive for what? What we forgiving for what? For what reason we forgiving them for?
It's not done, bro.
I don't understand that one bit.
Hmm? So you have this.
Forgiveness is not for that person.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. It's in my best. Hey, hold on, wait. Hey, it's in my best interest for me to never forgive a motherfucker. That's what I know. So forgiveness is definitely for them.
Listen, ladies, I'm not saying forget about the situation. I'm just saying don't let
there's no way we can, though, bro.
You're sitting up there.
I'm not forgiving. I don't know what this nigga talking about. Impossible. 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 Impossible.
So your body has never been violated before. Like someone that you didn't want to touch you, touched you. Like someone you didn't want to kiss you.
Well,
Like
if I'm not going to compare my situation to y'all's.
You can't. There's no comparison.
I didn't say it yet. I haven't said it yet. So
you telling me you will forgive a nigga that violated? You forgive a nigga for violating your kids?
No, listen, y'all. Come on now.
No, Ambassador. No. For real. Oh no, on some real for real shit. You telling me?
This is the reason why I don't have my kids around people at all. I don't have them around.
That's neither here nor there, brother. That is neither here nor there. I'm asking. Hold on, y'all. Wait, y'all. Wait. I'm asking you. I need to know from you. If somebody, man or woman, violated your children, you're going to forgive them?
I'm gonna forget, but I'm not gonna forget about it, and I'm not gonna have any association with that person. It's unacceptable.
You know what? Hey, you got it. Nah, y'all. Nah. He got it. He got it. No. You got it. No, you got it. I can't even. That's your personal. How am I gonna convince you to not? You got it. You right. My fault.
Listen to me. Listen to me on this. What I'm about to share with y'all, it is no comparison to y'all. But and I'm not even trying to downgrade what y'all doing. I mean, how y'all feel, y'all experience, whatever the case it be. But growing up, I was abused physically.
Okay.
When I was getting whoopings,
Okay, so we're there. Me too.
Okay. Hold on. Let him finish. Let him tell it.
So you were.
Hold on. So let him tell his story. Go ahead. So you were abused. Okay.
I got the blisters and everything.
Okay.
It even got to the point where it was nothing on. If you know what I mean.
Me too.
Gotcha. So you got it. You gotta let him. Hold on.
So God dang it. So
go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
So here's the thing. For a long time, I didn't forgive them. I didn't, both my dad and my stepmom. And it held me back on a lot of situations. Now, here's the thing.
Wait, I'm sorry. Held you back? What you mean?
It just held me back in life as far as, what I was trying to, as far as when I try to pursue certain relationships, I always associated women with my stepmom and how she abused me. So
Can I ask a question?
Hold on, superstar. Hold on.
That's the reason why I ended up with my ex-wife, because of that, for that reason. I don't know how they even happened, but it just happened. Well, it's a lot of deep stuff around that.
Brother, hold on.
That's a question.
Oh my God.
Ambassador, do you use corporal punishment on your children?
Oh no.
So you stop.
I don't have to.
Hey man, hold on, y'all. Time out. I can't. It's too many people talking at one time. I can't hear everybody. You gotta let people talk at one at a time. That's all I'm saying. So go ahead.
Do you feel like you're a safe space for your children?
Oh yeah, they trust me.
Not trust you. Are you a safe place for them?
Safe space.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, why would I not be? I've been through the ringer. I've been through the issues.
We've been beat.
So
we were beat.
So I get it, but you gotta let him talk.
I don't beat my children because my mother beat.
So you're not respecting me at this point. I've asked you several times to let him talk. We gotta listen to him. I know it's tough. I know it's triggering. I get it. I don't want to, a lot of us were abused. A lot of us were. Right? I ain't gonna say all of us were, but a lot of us were. But you gotta let him talk though. Please. Go ahead, Ambassador. You good.
Okay. So to answer your question, my disciplinary action kind of fell in line with what my parents did in their earlier years, but it wasn't as harsh. Now I did kind of I actually laid back off of them when it was about 4 years old, something like that. And it was only because of the fact that I realized that each time I was disciplining them, and when I discipline, I only discipline them with 3 licks.
Hey, why
And
you?
even
Go ahead, Ambassador. I got a question for you. I just want to know something. Going back, because you're gonna make me forget. Why you blame your mama, your stepmama, but not your stepdad, not your real daddy for beating you? For what happened with you?
That's what I said. I said I can forgive them.
No, you blamed your mama, your stepmama specifically, for you getting into. You blamed your stepmama for you getting into the relationship with that woman, with your ex-wife, specifically your stepmama, not your stepdaddy.
So I blame my stepmama initially because of the fact that I was exposed to her all the time. My dad always worked. I didn't really have a relationship growing up with him like that, like I wanted to, which is why I became bitter towards him. The only relationship that I had was with my stepmama, and the only experience that I have is with her. And so when it came to discipline, yes, I despise it for that. But as I've gotten older and I started to try to rekindle a relationship, or tried to strike a relationship with my father when I was about 23, 24, because at that point, that was when I was start my journey of healing. And I was like, look, I gotta forgive my parents.
Why would you reach out to him? You don't think that's weird? Why would you wait? He beat you. Why would you reach out to him?
Because I was having kids, and I needed to understand why he acted or operated the way he did with us, so that way I won't repeat the same mistakes. And so when I actually sat down and talked with him, I began to understand why he moved the way he moved, because he also experienced the same similar situation that he did with me with his father. So in that moment, I learned to forgive him, but it took some time for me to get to that point, because I had to recognize that just like he's a human being, just like I'm a human being, I have issues, I have flaws, whatever that I gotta deal with. He also has issues that he needs to deal with. And
wait, so you hit him up, and then you forgave him?
Yeah,
my nigga. This shit great, bro. When I tell you the things that you're saying to me is blowing my mind. I don't understand it. Your father abused you. You circle back, hit him up, and then forgave him?
I did that for me because I had a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, and I was bitter.
But you don't need to forgive people to not be, sir. First of all,
don't get me wrong, I haven't forgotten.
Ain't nothing wrong with being bitter. Ain't nothing wrong with being bitter.
That's the reason why I was responding the way I was responding to my kids. I didn't want to act like that.
No. You compartmentalize the bitterness. I am bitter as fuck towards certain people. I'm not bitter towards my kids. I'm definitely bitter towards certain people, though. Ain't nothing wrong with being bitter. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right now, my dad is still bitter to this day because of something that he experienced with his dad.
I'm gonna tell you something, Ambassador. Your daddy is a son of a bitch on some real shit. Like,
don't say that.
I got to, brother. I'm gonna tell you that from brother. I'm gonna tell you that man to man, sir. That's some real shit. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That man don't deserve your forgiveness. You had to reach out to him. He didn't hit you up. You had to reach out to him, brother. Come on, bro. You don't see that? You don't see how that's crazy? That is your dad. You had to hit him up and then forgive him. Like, what am I missing?
Here's the thing. Because I did that, my dad has came around. He's more accepting. He still has a little bit of issues that I dislike, but he's come around to getting better. And I can't fault him for that. And I'd rather let him change in his own time.
Fuck his acceptance. Look, I gotta take. Hey, man, I'm sorry. I'm getting triggered. You triggering me? I don't ever get triggered. You are triggering me right now. The things you are saying, I'm not understanding. His acceptance? You worried about his acceptance of things? Yeah, bro. I'm not. This is crazy. I can't. You know what, man? Hey, man, you do it. Like I said earlier, my fault. You do it how you want to do it, brother. You do it how you want to do it. it just is weird that you hate you blamed your stepmama, you didn't blame your stepdaddy, and then now you done forgave your dad. You done called up your dad and forgave your dad. Did you do it for your stepmama?
Yeah, I did for her too.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I did because I recognized that the reason why she was responding the way she was responding to me was because of him.
Because of your damn daddy. Yeah, I knew that. Oh, I knew that. Trust me.
And I shared that with him, and he's still, he's still, what do you call that? He's resistant.
So he ain't even accepted it. Why are you forgiving a person that hasn't accepted the role that they play? How are you forgiving it? You only forgive people when they repent, Ambassador. If you want to forgive somebody, you can only forgive a repenting person. Even God will tell you that. God only forgives those who repent. You don't forgive people that don't repent. Like what?
But the forgiveness is not for him. It was for me.
Sir, you got to stop saying that don't make sense. The forgiveness is a reward, so to speak, for repentance. For you turning your back on the thing that you did and changing your ways. You haven't accepted it. You haven't turned your back on it, meaning you probably or possibly will do the same thing again. So why the fuck would I forgive you? That's crazy. That don't even make sense. I'm being honest with you. That don't add up to me. Like, you are an adult man. You are an intelligent man. You gotta know that don't make sense. That man ain't take. Sound like he ain't take a bit of accountability. Sound like he masking just so he could be around his grandkids, probably, or some shit like that. Like, come on, bro. Don't let that man do that. Sound like he's still abusing you somehow. Shit is weird. Hey, man. Yeah, bro.
I ain't gonna lie. I sense that, but I'm just kind of looking past it. But what? I'm hoping. Oh my.
You looking past it?
I'm hoping that he'll change someday.
Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't understand it. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
You got kids. You bringing your kids around this nigga?
No, they don't go around them.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. They've only been around them without me being in their presence.
No, I'm saying he be around. I'm not saying you got him watching them, but.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Man, what is going on, man? This is wild, man. This is wild. I'm sorry, y'all. This is wild to me.
Allow him time to get over it and move forward and do the things. I know that man got to be 60.
At least.
You're not a spring chicken yourself. And I ain't hating on you. I feel.
Now, Ambassador, like 30. How old are you? Ambassador 35, you said? 36?
36.
36, yeah. Ambassador only 36.
That would be the opposite of a spring chicken, yes.
See, I'm old. See, don't do that. Me, see, I'm.
First of all, I'm not judging him because I'm 35. He ain't but a year older than me.
That's what I'm like, wait, y'all young in this thing.
No, that's how I know. So the thing is, it's really okay to just be done. It's okay to just be done, because if it takes somebody 60 years, there's nothing else that you would do that you would allow that much time to grow. If somebody tells you that if you plant this fruit in 1988 and it ain't gonna bloom till sometime in 2027, you're gonna be like, I don't never want to taste what that's like. I never want that, because why would it take that long to bloom? Why would it take that much time for it to grow? You have to think of it the same way, because at this point, he's a flat out snake oil salesman. He keep telling you that the product is good and that, you just got to hold out and blah, 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 blah. Forgiveness is for you. But it's actually not. It's a sales tactic so that you continue to hold on to a relationship that absolutely will never manifest. Like, it won't ever exist. And you know that it won't ever exist because you don't even trust your kids around them. Forgiveness is for you, but as for me and my kids, I'm not letting my kids around them. So obviously there are a lot of things that have not changed. And Public made a very valid point about the whole repentance card. When somebody is actually apologetic about doing a thing,
that behavior changes. And that's the part that resets your brain over time because they stop doing the thing. You know, like the rest of us know, that he's still doing the thing. So that's why you don't trust your own kids around him. Because if he wasn't, your kids would be around him, and you wouldn't have no issue with them being along with him. But you know he's still like that.
He ain't changed. Hold on, yeah, I got you right now. Trini said, forgave shitty dad because dad said he had a shitty dad. Blamed the stepmother. God atheist public quoting scripture. The hell is going on? Cats is dogs, dogs is cats, up is down, left is it's wicked tonight, man. Go ahead, superstar.
Hey, Ambassador, do you remember at any point in time of your father ever asking you for forgiveness or apologizing to you at any point in time for anything? No. Do you ever do that with your kids? If you make a mistake or you're wrong about something, do you ever do that with your kids?
Oh yeah, all the time. I mean, I've actually just did it. I do it all the time. Like the last time I had disciplined them when they was in there, they're 9, 10, 11 right now. The last time I disciplined them was when my oldest daughter was 4 years old, and I even sat down with her and all three of them. I said, "Look, y'all, Daddy is working on himself, and I love my babies. But here's the thing: Daddy's not gonna put his hand on y'all anymore. I'm gonna find an alternative way of disciplining y'all. At the same time, I give them like 3 warnings. I say, hey, look, I'm letting you know, you need to get this right. And then on the third try, go ahead. Okay.
What I'm trying to say is more than disciplining. Do you make it a habit of apologizing to your children when you make a mistake?
Yeah.
That is something that you can do that your father hasn't done. You don't have to have your father in the life to learn lessons from him. You just have to know what you did not like about it and do the opposite of that. Make sure you are a person who says, hey, Dad made a mistake. I told you we were going somewhere and we're not. I'm sorry. Dad made a mistake. I said we were going to have this for dinner and we're not. These are things that teach them how to have good relationships as well.
But he's not. I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to correct this right now. First off, we're not therapists on this panel. Secondly, he's already putting his kids in an unsafe situation, even if he is there supervising his father around his kids. The fact that his abusive-ass daddy is around them kids is already problematic, and that is already detrimental to them. That man is the same old crotchety-ass, angry man that he was raising you. And you're sitting there tap dancing, hoping that he changes. What you are telling your kids is that you should accept somebody who harmed you and give them the benefit of the doubt, allow them to continue to harm you because he is. You have not really forgiven him. What you are looking for is acceptance and love from him. So you still put yourself and you twist yourself in effing pretzels to try to get him to like you, and maybe he'll change.
Okay, Kate.
That is the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life, and I mean that with love. That is a loving statement. Sitting there saying, you should forgive the person who harmed you, that's the shit that slave masters sold slaves. Forgive them because they were afraid of vengeance. And I'm going to tell you this. There ain't nothing wrong. A person who abuses their child deserves every bit of vengeance that is out there in this world. They don't deserve a second chance. They don't deserve to say, oh, well, I changed. No, the F you didn't. Because the damage you caused that kid, it leaches in. It's part of your DNA. It's going to be the DNA of your children. You are putting that in them because of epigenetics. That's what abuse does. You can't forgive and make your DNA change. That shit's there, and it's going to be passed down to your kids. The fact that you thought it was okay to spank toddlers is a problem. The fact that you even had to say, oh, well, Daddy didn't mean it. No.
KGR.
You
KGR,
did not have
right
the
there,
tools.
Look, I sense a little hatred in your voice. Here's the thing. You're not supposed to tell me the position of my life. That's not going to happen. Please
So go on mute. So go on mute. Please go on mute.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. No, there is no hatred in my voice. My hatred is disappointment and a lack of self-preservation skills. That is my problem.
Because what you were teaching your kids is that they should accept abuse. You were telling them that,
what the hell y'all talking about?
Daddy, and then he'll maybe change. That's all you're teaching your kids. I want to ask you something. If your daughter had a boyfriend who put his hands on her multiple times, but then he came around and he didn't even say he was sorry, but she said, I'll forgive him, and now we can be around each other, would you be okay with that? Because that's the same shit you're doing. Okay, so why are you doing that to yourself? So why are you doing that right now to your kids?
My second daughter came to me last year, I think it was in October. She said, Daddy, Grandpa's not fun. He's too hard on Kale. It's my son. So okay. I said, okay. So I went and talked to him. And I said, Daddy, I said, next time, be a little bit more careful with how you handle my kids, because they didn't appreciate how you was handling them at the Cabbage Patch, whatever the thing was. And so because my dad, he's the kind of person that he is, he's very disorganized, whatever the case may be with his life. And so he doesn't even have the time to even come around my kids like that. So there's no need for him to come around. But I've already told my daughter, you don't have to go around him anymore if you don't want to. So no, I'm not going to put my kids in that situation again. No, that was one of the.
But you already did. The point is, you already put them in that situation, and Vanity wants to go, so go ahead, Vanity. I'm sorry.
Hey, so I'm just going to take the temperature to that one a smidge. First of all, when Bram was up here and he was watching the F out of his story. But remember when I used to first come up and I used to say one of the biggest issues that we were having in this whole entire quote-unquote gender war and all this other kind of stuff was the issue of literacy.
Oh, yeah, that's a real thing. Hey, can you let Teddy in?
I don't know if Bram was saying the things that he thinks he was saying, and I don't know if he was communicating well enough, and thus we were hearing things that we were hearing. And I don't know what kind of thing we could do. I was thinking maybe we could, put together a charity or something like that and call it the Literacy to Coochie Pipeline or something. If they want to continue to have access to women, they have to bring up their literacy and their comprehension skills, because I don't know if he was a creepy guy or he was so inarticulate he came across as a creepy guy. Second
Both.
thing I came
he was no. When in the comments he started to say some problematic shit. So
the answer to that is yes.
My guess.
The answer to that is yes, right? Mm-hmm. But for those of you who are not creeps and might be mistaken for creeps, you might want to get your literacy up so that we don't mistake you for creeps, so that we could distinguish you from the creeps. The second thing I came to say, somebody said something about bitterness. Bitterness keeps parasites away.
Mm-hmm.
And if you maintain bitterness against people who have harmed you, that parasite that was vamping energy and love and all that other kind of stuff off of you, they can stay away. So I totally co-sign bitterness, because forgiveness is not some kind of spiritual thing. It is actually a transaction, a financial transaction, if you will, that has been adopted into regular human beings. Instead of forgiving, accept. Say, I accept the fact that my father was a monster, but you do not have to forgive, because when you forgive, basically what you're saying is, I take the debt they owe me and I wipe it clean and take it upon myself. And for those of you who
they still owe,
you're basically, you're telling that person, hey, you can do that shit again.
Yep.
The last thing I wanted to say. Right now, from the 29th of September to about November 25th, there are 2 moons circling this earth. We've got a mini moon. We can't see with a naked eye, which I think sucks balls. But however, I'm going to say something that is not scientifically proven, but I believe it. So you know how the moon has like a kind of effect on you where like it goes like the tides, where it's pulling the water in your system, and it's got that ebb and flow and everything. And when the moon gets real full, you get that kind of lunacy thing. So now with 2 moons, I have noticed a lot of smooth brain activity. So I don't know if the water in the brain, the swelling, that's, smoothing out the brain a little bit. But I have heard some of the most asinine, diabolical, unhinged ish over the last couple of days, because the amount of men I have heard co-signing slavery, co-signing SA, co-signing Diddy, co-signing child abuse, like the things I have been hearing. Are you all okay?
No.
Because one of the nastiest things the patriarchy has, it has decided to put the most value on the parent who is male, and these guys are out here in droves, because Ambassador isn't the first person I heard today to say, well, my dad did this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. I blamed my mother and I forgave my dad. She's not the first. That's diabolical.
Real quick, let me read these two super chats. I'm about to give me a second, Charlie. Let me read these two super chats. F. Abdul Rahman said, wife groomed him and parents abused him. Poor dude. Noonie Noon said, we must be wary of wrongly using the biblical command in order to justify abuse. Yeah. The spirit of Ra spoiled a child. I'm guessing. I wasn't even here, but I'm guessing that was it. But yeah, hey, go ahead, Lux. I know you wanted to say something.
I came to say what up to the peoples. What's up as always to the
What
peoples?
up?
We're on our third hour. We did it.
We did it. I'm about to end it, so you ain't got to tell nobody to do nothing. I'm about to just wrap it up, but I wanted you to say your word.
Yeah, just as usual, what's up to the peoples? I came up to the thing, but since we finna wrap it up anyways, my only challenge to y'all, my only little thing to y'all, I've got a whole bunch of new content. Check it out. Boop, that's it.
Love it. Thanks, Lux. Hey man, we almost in the fourth hour, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it. My baby is down for the count. After party in Discord, absolutely. Absolutely. I'll be in there. Tiptoeing. Lux is definitely the best mod ever. Vanity, you ain't never lied. Them niggas, man, that was crazy. All right. I really gotta.
Hey, just wanted to say one more thing. My sister, she writes a book called Where Hands Go. It's an introduction to starting the conversation with your children about safe touch. And I just wanted to say that we just need to have more conversations with our children about how people are supposed to be touching them.
Dope.
So it's called Where Hands Go.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, we need more children. But Brim said I need to check myself. Check myself for what? Thanks, Superstar. What? What am I checking myself for? What you talking about? Villain, why y'all trying to come up when I'm trying to go? I'm trying to get them. I gotta eat. What up, Villain?
I don't know.
She ain't even mean to come up. All right, we did it. Hey man, shout out to everybody on the YouTubes. All the super chatters, Miller Time, Tia, Condra, Trini, Maureen, JP, E. Marie, your multiple biz owner, Osa, Tantres, Cecilia Salt, F. Abdul Rahman, and Noonie Noon, man. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody that shout out to everybody, all the new subs and all the old subs, everybody that banged the Cash App, dropping fools left and right. Y'all dropping fools left and right tonight with the boom, ping, ping. I wasn't playing. They was locked in. Yeah, it was. Everybody got triggered tonight. Everybody got triggered tonight. Look, it was a little something for everybody to get triggered. You get triggered. You get triggered. You get triggered. Everybody got a little trigger tonight. Everybody did. So, you know what it is. You know what it is. I was tough. That was tough, man. We almost had 400K too. I appreciate y'all. That was tough. That was a tough one. 400K. Look at us, man. We almost hit 500,000. Look at us. Yep. Hey, now we could trauma bond. We were all triggered. We did it, Joe. We were all trauma bond. We all were triggered. Oh, man. Ari, I appreciate you. Yeah, so tomorrow I'll be back on. I don't got no content for y'all today. I took a little relaxed day. I had to do some stuff. I went live. I made a decision. I was like, go live or make content, and I chose to go live. So here I am. And we have arrived, man. I appreciate y'all. We almost made it to the 4th hour, but I'll be back on.